All right, Dan, over to you, my friend.
Engage and rage. This is Voice of the People, USA Radio.
All right. It's another fine Saturday. So for all of you out there that's joining us today, we do have special guests with us today. We have who was the one that's not showing?
That's Oliver.
Oliver. Okay.
That's Oliver.
I'm sorry. I was in the middle of y'all were talking about it, and then I was in the middle of swapping over, so I didn't catch who else was on here. So
No problem.
yeah. So we got Marco and Oliver with us from a band, Source of Rage. If you're not familiar with that band, you are definitely missing out.
You absolutely are. Yes.
And I guess I wanted to start out by saying you guys are, you look fairly young. So what age group are you guys in?
I'm 31 right now.
Okay. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also 31, and our other two guys are 29 or 28. 28.
Okay. Cool.
So we are around 30.
Okay.
Okay. All right, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I knew you. Well, if it means anything, you look younger than that. So
that's what many people say about us.
So that's a good thing. So
yeah, it definitely a good thing. Yeah. All right. So for those of you guys who don't know, like I say, we've got Marco and Oliver here on the show. They are out of Germany. Their brand new album that came out yesterday.
Last week.
Or last week, I'm sorry. Yeah, not last week. Is called Witness the Mess. Excuse me. Ooh,
which pretty much describes the world in general at this point, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. So, tell us a little bit more about the album. Is Jason right? Is the album title kind of indicative of the overall theme of what the album was about?
Yes, he is right. He is definitely right with that. We wish it was not so much the case, but it is. And that's what this title of the album describes. There are very much bad things going on in the world right now, and we just can't do anything as one human as we are. So we just witness this all, and are not really we can't do anything as one person. That's not a good thing. We just have to witness.
Yep.
And it's almost at a point to where you can't do anything. We can't even do anything that's coming together. You know what I mean? It's like we've proven that over here in our country a few times about
right.
We come together to make changes because we have an electoral system, but that's a whole nother topic. But I'm just saying that's kind of like what you're saying is like all those things you can't stop. And we just talked about Randy Blythe last week buying some land to stop building in the rainforest. So I mean, I don't think that. I think that greed has a lot to do with what goes on in our world right now. People are just looking to make $1 and they don't care about the repercussions of that. So,
yeah, yes, many bands are dealing with this topic. I think right now, it's a Lamb of God, it's Gojira, who made this album, which came out a few months ago, which was about the rainforest and these topics. And yeah, many bands are dealing with that because they seem to notice that this is an important theme for the world right now.
And I think a lot of times too, especially in our country, that people get tied up into politics so much that they forget about those type of things that they're trying to battle right now. So, there's more to everything than politics. But So so the interesting thing I think about your band is when I was going through, and I actually did the album review on the show last week, congratulations, by the way, you've gotten, I think, the highest rating I've gave an album this year. So it was definitely a great album, and I actually started listening to the previous release in 17, I think it was.
It was 17. Yeah.
So I started listening to that. I started listening to that one too this week, and I was just like, yeah, these guys have got a bright future. So
I did the same thing. After last week, after Jason did the album review on Monday, I listened to the new album also, and then after that, I went back and I listened to the first release from 17 too. So I actually listened to both albums this week. I listened to the new one all the way through twice. So
yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So I think the thing that was interesting to me is I've never seen a band to have 3 brothers in the band. So I was just kind of like, wow, 3 brothers? That's kind of unheard of. So did they start the band, or did you start the band and recruit them?
Yes, we started the band actually as a 5-piece band.
Oh, okay.
And on the way we lost our former singer, and so I was a former guitar player also. We had 2 guitar players back then, and I changed to the main vocals, and it worked out very well. So we stayed with this as a 4-piece band from there on. And yes, it was us 3 brothers, and Ollie was with us from day one.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the 4 of you. Yeah, I did notice that the 4 of you that are currently in the band, you guys have all been together since the beginning. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we met each other in school and started as a school band project, I think, and it all develops from there.
So what is the age difference between the brothers?
It's we actually have my 2 brothers are siblings. Is that the right word?
Right.
So they are the same age, and they are 28, and I am 31. So
they're twins.
Okay.
They're twins. I got you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, all right. See, that actually kind of makes sense that you say that they're twins, because looking over at your guys' bio page over on metalarchives.com. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that website, but it's got a picture of the 4 of you guys, and I was like, all right, I know which 3 are the brothers, and I could definitely pick out Oliver in the picture, but it actually kind of makes sense that you guys are twins, because I'm looking at the picture. I'm like, okay, those 2 literally, with the exception of you guys' hair, you guys look exactly alike. So
yeah,
so it makes sense that there's twins in there. So
yes, if one of them doesn't have the long hair, they just look very, very similar. just
Yeah.
like one person.
I can totally see it. So I'm sure I kind of may know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Has having you and your two brothers in the band ever kind of caused any tension? You figure with that, with family being around all the time, having grown up with them, and now you went to school, and then you've got this band, and you're going around and touring. I'm sure there gets to be some tension sometimes.
Yeah, could be, but it's not really this. You always have tension in a band,
Right.
no matter if they are brothers or not, I think, and so have we. But it's very important for us to have a good band climate and make. I try to find the right word.
Oh no,
for it.
you're fine. It's okay.
Make compromises, just
Okay, there you
to
go.
make, just not to disappoint one of them, so he does not like to play with us anymore. So that
Right.
would be bad for all of us.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you think? Do you think? Of course, you guys have you ever been in? Have you ever been in a band? Besides this one, is this your first band? I can't remember. Is this your first band?
Yes, it is
Okay.
actually.
Okay. All right. Because I was going to ask, do you think like when there is conflict in your guys' band, do you think it makes it kind of easier to compromise since you do have family in the band than it would be as if if you did? I don't know, just your opinion.
Yeah, it's not easy to say because it is our first band for all of us. I mean, I was in a band before, a very short time in a punk band where I was a guitar player, but I wouldn't really call that a band which has very much ambition. So this is a Source of Rage is the first band for all of us, I would say, the first real band. So we don't know how other bands work together.
Yeah. Okay.
Really. We talk to people about that, and they say yes, there's always conflict about certain things, and that's a normal thing, I think.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's important to not divide from and always make compromises. Yes, to keep everybody, to keep the band together, and to get a good result music wise for all of us.
Well, I would definitely say, whatever compromises you guys have had to make in the past have worked out, because like Jason and Dan have both said, I mean, the music you guys have come out with has been fantastic. I guess Oliver just ends up being a good referee whenever there's a fight. So.
Yes.
So we asked this question a lot when we got Mans on. So are you guys still having to pull like a regular job and then still do this as well, or is it at the point to where you guys could just focus on music all the time?
Olli, willst du?
No, we all have our jobs, and the music is at the moment just a hobby for us. But it's a real important hobby. We invest a lot of time, I think. Also, we try to practice 2 times a week, and we met just yesterday evening, and we had a barbecue and drink some beer. And there's there's
hard
just hard work. No, what I was trying to say is that a band like this needs a lot of time outside of music. I mean, of course, we have to practice our songs, but also we have to look for opportunities to play. We have to update our homepage regularly or other stuff too, make photos, and it's really time consuming. But at the moment, we all had fun, and it's no problem for us to work the day and to make all the band stuff in the evening.
And the reason I asked this was because we asked this a lot, and the reason we do is because I think a lot of people don't realize that it's not all glamour and glory with rock bands. I mean, we're not all Metallica. You know what I mean? It's like, you can't all just be, go out and make multi-millions of dollars on one album. I mean, it takes time to build up to that point. And I think that's why I try to like ask those questions, because I want to make sure people that do listen to this understand that, hey, these guys are working their ass off, to do what they love to do, and of course, to put out quality music like you guys are doing and having to work is pretty fucking amazing to me. So,
yeah, it's sometimes it's work, just and as you said, but we like to do it. Yes,
right.
And as you said, nowadays there are very, very many great bands out there, and you have to try to stick out of them
right
as the best you can. So that is not always this glamour thing.
Right.
I think that was maybe in the 80s or
yeah, right. Me and Chris both work regular jobs too. So I mean, we do this because we love to do it. And when we started this thing, and I've talked about this many times on the show, is that we would sit and we would talk by a fire all the time, and we were just like, well, I was already podcasting with someone else at the time, and I said, well, why don't we just do a podcast, and then we can build up, and then we can talk to some of these bands that we think that the world should know about that don't, because there was so much music that we were missing out on that we didn't know that we were missing. You know what I mean? So, and then we keep learning, as we go too. So that's always amazing. We've swapped like websites where we get our albums from, because we were only getting like 10 or 12, and now we're doing 20 or 30 a week. So, so it's a big difference. So it's crazy of how much music and how many bands are out there. So
we're trying to do the best we can to do our part to give bands as much exposure as we can. So when we listen to a band that's new to us, in the case of you guys, because we had basically discovered you guys about a week and a half ago. So we're like, we need to get these guys. We listened to the music, we both loved it, and then Jason was like, we need to get these guys on the show. I was like, absolutely. So when we're able to reach out and talk to bands like you guys and get you guys on the show, it's helping us out. But at the same time, we're doing what we basically set out to do with this show, is to get eyes and ears on bands like you guys, because not trying to toot our own horn or anything or brag or anything, but it's like Dan said before we went on the air, we have gotten to the point where we are getting out to multiple countries around the world, and Germany is one of those countries. We've had fans show up in the chat room from Germany like plenty of times, so we do know that there are people in Germany who watch the show. So
or listen. I don't know if they're radio or
they either watch or listen. We're not 100% sure. So so we feel like we're doing our best to help, and that's what we set out to do. So when bands like you guys accept the invitations to come on, we're super duper grateful for us and for you guys. So
well, thank you.
you're welcome. All right. What was that? There was a question I had. Oh yeah. Okay. I know that a lot of bands don't really pay a whole lot of attention to this, but there was something that I wanted to ask you guys about, because I'm not 100% sure where this came from. It probably didn't come from you guys, I'm sure. But that website that I was telling you guys about, where I saw your guys's photo. There's a part of the web page that has you guys listed as a melodic death metal band, and I know a lot of bands don't really pay attention to like what genre they're in. They just play the music they feel like playing, and that's fine. But do you guys see yourself as a melodic death metal band? Because that really wasn't the sound I kind of heard with the album.
Mhm. Okay. We have seen ourselves as a melodic death metal band back then when we had 2 guitar players and we played this classic style with these guitar harmonies and stuff.
Okay.
And like In Flames, the old In Flames did,
Okay.
or Arch Enemy or something.
Oh, Arch Enemy.
But
Children of Bottom.
nowadays we consider ourselves as a melodic groove metal band because
that
we
makes more sense.
because we only have 1 guitar player, and so our songwriting is more rhythm oriented today, because we don't have these guitar twin lead stuff anymore, and so we have to do something else which is standing out. So this would be an old description for us.
Okay. See, that actually kind of makes sense because like I say, when I was listening to the new album, I listened to the new album, and then I started doing some research for the show this week, and I was looking around. I was like death metal, that doesn't sound like the current sound that they've got. But like I say, I know a lot of bands don't really worry about where they're classified, and I've that was the same thing for you guys, but
I kind of felt more of a thrashy type feel.
I did too.
When I was
so did I. Well, and another thing that I like about it, and we've talked about it with some of our past guests, but another thing that I kind of liked about this album, on top of everything else, Jason and I, what a lot of times what Jason and I end up doing is we end up hearing the influences of other bands that are direct that come out in the music. One thing that I liked about this new album is I couldn't really nail down an influence. Right. There was a uniqueness to the sound on the album that I really couldn't kind of put a comparable band on. So like tell us kind of who some of your guys' influences have been, like on this album in particular, but like throughout your guys' career.
Yeah, maybe that's the case because every one of us 4 has some other influences, and everyone likes other bands. We have a how to say, we have an intersection between all these bands, I would say, and bands we all like. But there is always bands for each of us who are influences, but the others of us do not really like, especially especially I do not really like stuff like Megadeth or something. I'm not really was sagst du?
Dream Theater?
Yes, I do not really like Dream Theater, and Olli, for example, likes this band, and so everyone has everyone has his favorites.
So did Marco? Did I hear you say you're not a Megadeth fan?
I'm not really a Megadeth fan.
Okay, no, that's
Wow,
I mean
okay.
that I mean that's fine. I mean, hell, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, and not everyone's gonna like Megadeth. Not everyone's gonna like Megadeth, but that's totally fine. So so that being the case, how does like the musical direction, how does the fact that there are so many different tastes in music between the four of you guys, how does that kind of influence the direction that the album goes? How did you guys decide on how this album was going to sound as opposed to the last one?
Ja. Soll ich, Olli?
No, I can try. The thing is, when we write music, I usually bring in some riffs, and when I write those riffs, I don't know. I just listen to a lot of music, not just like one band I find cool, but I don't know, like 20 or 50 bands, and I like to pick the things that I've found cool in those music. I try to incorporate that into our own riffs, but nothing like I don't play just the same, but I try to find like, I don't know, for example, dynamic changes. I hear a song and think, okay, this dynamic change looks cool. We just try to work around that, and then I pick a lot of stuff from a lot of songs and try to incorporate in this writing. And I think that is the reason that the music, or I hope that is the reason that our music is so diverse, and you can't say, okay, this sounds like, I don't know, this sounds like Megadeth, or this sounds like Metallica. So I try to listen to a lot of music, and then use that to write our riffs.
And if it sounds like Dream Theater, I'll know. So
Yes.
Yes. Sometimes it's actually the case that there's a riff Olli is bringing to the practice space, and I think, okay, let's see if I can do anything good about it. And then I do I do not like to say, no, I don't like that. Let's throw that into the bin and work on another one. So I try to. I know that he likes it, and so I think it's my part then to find to put on a vocal track over it, which makes it sound the way I would make. I would like to. I would like to have it sounded. I don't know how to say it right.
that was I would say that was a good description of it. But now Marco, you said you used to, you were a guitar player in the band at some point. So having been the guitar player at one point, when Oliver comes in with a riff, do you guys kind of, if there's something that kind of maybe needs to be, like you say, you don't want to just throw it out completely. Is there some sort of like input that you may add to kind of compromise to maybe, just tweak a riff a little bit?
Yes, there is sometimes. In that case, it's a little bit still to this day. Yes, that could be the case. But Olli's riffs are often, it's the case that they
They're perfect 99 times.
it's often the case that he don't wants to change the riffs then.
Sure, yeah.
And then it's okay for me. So I think, okay, then I'll do my vocal part over it and make this all sound cool together.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time, I'm willing to make a compromise. That's no problem for me. Or usually, I get really good input from Tilo and Rico, our drum and bass players, and so we often change the riffs so that everyone is happy. That's also important for me, that no one is like hating a song or
Well, yeah,
doesn't
of
feel
course.
right. That's also important.
So sometimes Ollie does compromises, but sometimes not.
And I think it's always surprising to me too, especially with bands that have been around like Metallica or something, that you hear them say, "Oh, well, I hate playing this track, live," even though like 9 times out of 10 when bands talk about that, it's a track that I actually like, and I'm like, really? I'm like, but so I know you're early in your career, but is there a song on there that you guys don't like to play?
Hmm.
For me, no. I like
No,
every
not
song.
really.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well, like I said, from my point of view, I could, I don't hear anything that you guys are doing that's not good. So
Right. Yeah. Same.
so,
Yeah. Same.
but like I said, you got those like Kiss even says, hey, I don't like playing. What was it? I was made for loving you or something like that.
I think. I think that was it. Yeah.
Paul hates that song. So, but
Well, that was from their disco era anyway, so he should
right.
have.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah.
I mean, of course, there are songs that I'm for myself, I'm very excited to play live, and some of the songs I'm not so excited to play live, but I
Well,
like
yeah.
them, and I
Yeah.
think that's a natural thing.
Yeah.
And
That makes sense.
everyone has his favorites. That's also a normal thing, I guess.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, but it's not the case that I hope that someone of us plays a song that he hates. That wouldn't be good.
No.
Right.
No, you're right. So,
So,
sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say this. For me, it's huge to say that a guy, you guys are young, so it's, to me you're young, but I'm 47, so, but but it's, to me, it's like, it's good to hear that Germany is still putting out quality music, because I grew up on bands like Scorpions and stuff like that, so it's
Same.
still good to know that Germany is still putting out good quality bands. Like, so is the competition there? I know we've talked about this with other bands in different countries, but is the competition with bands there? Does it seem like it's pretty hefty there, or is it, are you pretty much able to just run about and do what you want to do? Or
Yes, there are very many good bands over here in Germany. I think good metal bands, but I have to tell a little fairy tale at first. I try to, because you've mentioned the Scorpions.
Mhm.
It's actually, the Scorpions are coming very near from our practice space, and they actually had their practice space in the same building that we are practicing.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be like, hey, listen to this. Can we get on the bill?
That's awesome.
Oh man,
That is
would
awesome.
that would be a hell of a show, in my opinion. But
Yeah, it would. Are you kidding me? Now, you guys were like, when Marco, I know when you emailed me back the other day, after I sent you guys the link to the show, you were concerned about the quality of English, which you guys are speaking English perfectly fine. They're having you guys don't have to worry about that. But having said that, you guys have recorded both of your albums in English. Being from Germany, have you guys gotten any crap about your music just being in English?
No, I think it's very, very common to play metal music in English, because when I got the singer of the band, I just asked myself, do I want to play music or write lyrics for our music in English or in German? And I just figured out that English sounds more natural to this kind of music. I think that's just the decision, and more people can understand those lyrics around the world. That was also a point. Um,
That's true. That makes sense. Because there's a couple of course, obviously we listened to Rammstein, but there was a band that we discovered, Jason and I, not too long ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, Jason, but I know one night we were just kind of goofing around, and we were watching videos on YouTube, and we discovered a band called Null Positive. They're from Germany also. So I don't know if you guys have heard of them. But Ellie Berlin, she sings probably 98% of her lyrics completely in German. She does have a few songs that I've heard that have been in English. So I just didn't know if, being from Germany, and if there's if you guys took any, like I say, any crap for writing everything in English. So it's good to hear that you don't, though, because that's always kind of one of my something in the back of my mind. It's like, well, I wonder if anybody ever, did anybody kind of tell you that maybe you should record in German? Did anybody ever tell you that maybe you should have?
Yes, but that's mostly the older people here, because mostly the younger people can understand the English language very good, and that's not really a problem, because they all learned it in school, and that's simply no problem to understand. As you hear, speaking is a whole nother topic than writing down and understanding. That's not really a problem for me, but
no, it doesn't seem to be at all.
Speaking a language is a whole different topic if you haven't done it for 2 years or something.
Right.
And
yes,
but many of the older people here in Germany, which who like our music, maybe they tell us to why don't you sing in German? Wouldn't that be a thing for you? And we say, not really.
I think German vocals in German just sounds too aggressive for my taste.
Really? Oh, okay. All right. That's
we had a band from our hometown who it's style a bit like Rammstein, and I don't know, that sounded really aggressive. I think that's just the nature of the language.
Yeah, I know the first time that we heard Null Positive, I said, dude, I got to learn some German, man. This damn band is so damn good. So
yeah.
I really would like to know what they're saying. So.
Yeah, that's the same thing. I pick up very, very, very few words. Like, obviously I know nine is no and verboten is forbidden and stuff like that. So, but you guys speak English a hell of a lot better than Jason and I could even begin to speak German. So,
well, hell, they speak English. They speak English better than I speak English sometimes. So.
We do our best.
You guys are doing a great job. I know you, like I said, I know you were concerned about it in an email, but you guys are doing a good job. So you don't have to worry about that. So excuse me. So how has the touring been on the new album? Was there touring ahead of it? Is there a tour that's upcoming because of it? So what is that looking like?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we were so busy in the recording and the promoting of the album that we didn't really have enough time to spend on the booking theme, so that we do not have a real tour coming up right now. And this is just what we are doing right now. We are now focusing on our booking and everything else that comes with it, so that we can maybe go on tour in the end of this year or next year, or
Okay.
or just have as many gigs as we can to play live everywhere it makes sense for us, and to play our music live. So it did not really. We have spoken about this being very time consuming. So we just did not manage to do the booking besides our album promoting and something, which is not so good, but we did what we had to do, and yeah. So now we are focusing on that.
And
So
in addition, the COVID situation is still very present here in Germany, or at least the most of the festivals just have their lineup from 2020 in this year because they postponed it so many
Right.
2 times,
Right.
and that is also a problem. And concerts are just they started in spring this year. And before that, there were nearly no concerts, maybe like a single one here and there, but the whole festival scene just started this year. And that is
Yeah,
also very difficult to
yeah,
find.
I was actually gonna ask that next. You know, what the kind of the toll that COVID had taken on you guys, because you guys are the first German band that we've interviewed, but we've talked to the Defaced out of Sweden, we talked to DVL out of the UK. So I know that over there, over there in Europe, that everyone has had different restrictions in regards to COVID. So I was actually going to ask that next, and how that had been affecting you guys. So, but you went ahead and answered the question ahead of time, so that's fine. But so it sounds like, Marco, it sounds like you guys are basically handling all your guys' booking yourself. Is that correct? Because that's the way you're making it sound. So is that the case? You guys are trying to get your tour put together yourselves?
Yes, that's the case. We we talked about it in the band. Should we get a promoter or something? But that is often the case for smaller bands like we are right now. That you get an offer from a promoter, and he just wants to have a fee every month, and but he does not really do anything which helps us.
Yeah.
So that's often the case. We've talked to other bands about that. So and the advice you often get is to make as much as you can for yourself, for ourselves in this case. Yes, and we that's the way we do it right now. But maybe it will change in the future if it gets too much work that we can't handle anymore. Maybe we have to find someone who helps us out with that.
So with that being the case, I almost think that a promoter should be only paid for what he does for you instead of being like a monthly. That just seems a little ridiculous to me. But we know, we've talked about a few things on here that we don't really care for. Spotify kind of, I feel like they could do better than what they do with bands, and we did a story this week where a band was pissed off because the venue wanted to take 20% of their merch sales. It's just like, that's kind of ridiculous, because the venue or anybody doesn't do anything to make your merch. I mean, you do that on your own. So so that should be 100% your money. I mean,
Right.
I know when I dealt with I was in pro wrestling for a while, and when I did that, that's where I made most of my money was out of the merch table. I didn't make a lot for actually, working. So I know that would have definitely not set well with me if the guy come over and said, "Hey, you owe me 20% of that." You know, which is a little easier in wrestling to fold up a chair and whack him with it, but but yeah, I feel like there needs to be a change in the way that that bands are represented. I really do.
Yeah.
So you guys, I do see that you guys are on the Metalville label. They were the label that released the album. Is that correct?
Yes, and
Okay.
that's the first. Yeah, we just got to Metalville in spring this year.
Okay.
So was the previous album just independent or?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
gotcha.
released by ourselves.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, that's good that they were able to get that album out, because I've seen a lot of albums that have come out on Metalville. So has Metalville treated you guys pretty well so far?
Oh yes, it's all right. Since we are now there for 3 months, we can't really judge what they do,
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
just have
Still
not so
early.
much
Yeah.
experience yet. But yes, they are treating us well, and everything seems to work good. And that's, yeah, we are quite happy with them, to work with them, and they seem as well.
Well, good. That's good. So I hope that that working relationship ends up working out for you guys. Hopefully they end up being a good label moving forward.
Mhm.
So
Hey, real quick, I wanted to just reach out.
go ahead.
My wife was on here earlier, so I wanted to say hey to her, and then Myrna just joined us, which is one of our weekly followers. So I
Yep.
just wanted to say good morning to those guys. So.
Yep. Good morning, Susie. Good morning, Myrna.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Or good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Yeah, it's dinner time in Germany almost.
It's beer 30 there already. So
Yeah. Yeah. You guys are going to be getting on with your Saturday night here in a little bit. So.
So there was one thing I did want to talk to you guys about. So I did read here where you guys actually won the Wacken Open Air Metal Battle in 2019. Can you walk us through that? Or
Ja, soll ich oder willst du, Olli?
No, you can.
You guys can brag. It's fine.
yeah. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
Yes, that was a very special thing for us. We won the Wacken Metal Battle Germany, and so we represented Germany at the Wacken Metal Battle, the international contest, which we did not win. But it was a very cool experience for us, and there were very many great bands in this contest, and yes, we got many cool contacts to people from the metal scene in Germany or international. And yes, as you mentioned, that was 2019, and we thought, okay, so let's take one step after the other and make the new album and publish it and go on tour. And then COVID came,
Right.
and
Yep.
everything fall into pieces.
Yeah.
You could say. And
Yep. That's
yeah,
that
that
seems.
was
Yeah, that's definitely not you guys definitely aren't the first band who has told us about that. You know, we've got this and got this and this going on, and then COVID happened. I mean, man, it just really sucked in general. But I will say this, Wacken is one of those festivals that I so want to go to. I mean, I've seen so many videos of footage from that festival, and I want to go there hopefully one day so bad. I want to go to that one.
Yeah. It's a very, very special and cool place there. And it was an honor for us to play there.
Yeah.
And to represent Germany there. That was maybe even more even more important for us. But yes, the festival itself is very, very great.
So
Yeah.
I gotta know who in the hell won. If you guys,
It was Latvia. Olli?
Yes, Varang Nord or Varang Nord from Latvia.
okay,
Back then, but that is also a very cool band. It is totally different from what we do musically. It's more a folk metal band,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
they were
All right.
they did a very good performance there.
So you just talk about the out. So let me get. So the album just came out, but was it already like? Had it been completed for a while because of COVID, or was it something that you got threw together in like the last year and then put out?
We spent no, it was completed in the end of 2021, I think. So
Okay.
when COVID came, then we thought, okay, what can we do right now to spend our
Right.
band time the best we can? And then we decided to take our time to make the record as good as we can, and because COVID seemed not to end, and we
Yeah.
just had the time to make everything the best we can, and just do a few takes more if we we just had the time to do a little more work, I would say. So yes, it's not the case that it was finished 2 years ago and just was resting on a desk
Yeah.
or something.
Because I know Iron Maiden. He's wearing the Iron Maiden shirt. That's one of the things that got me thinking about that. Is like their last album. They kind of sit on for like 2 years because of
They put it in a vault for 2 years.
Yeah. So it's pretty interesting to see how and we're actually starting to see a lot of the I guess I should say I don't want to say backlash, but I guess we're starting to see a lot of the results, I guess, from a lot of the quarantine and stuff like that, because there is so much good music coming out right now.
Mhm.
And I think it's a lot of because, like you said, bands didn't know what else to do but write music and record. So you got a lot of these big, even some of the bigger bands, out putting out music,
Yeah, Trivium came out with 2 albums in 2 years.
yeah, back to back. So yeah, man, Heafy ain't playing around. So
No, he's not. He's probably doing a Twitch stream right now.
he probably
Could be.
Actually, we met Heavy at Wacken 2019, and we played a video game with him. I don't know.
He is a huge video game player.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
the title. Was it
I don't know.
no,
I'm
Overwatch?
not really a video game
But-
guy. But yes, Ollie played with him, and
It was funny because he was really ambitious. He just wants to win.
Yeah.
And
very focused on the.
yeah, really focused. But he
You know-
seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you because you've got a Matt Heafy story. The last band that we interviewed was Devil out of the UK, and they had a Matt Heafy story. I kind of indirectly have my own Matt Heafy story. So so I mean, and everything that I've ever heard about the guy is he's genuine. He's a genuinely nice guy. So I hope to directly meet him one day. But excuse me. Speaking of stories, this is something we've kind of done with the last 2 bands that we've talked to. Our last band out of the UK, and then the very, I should say, we actually did it with our very first band earlier in the year. Do you guys have, and I know you guys haven't been on the road a lot lately, but do you guys have, and we like to ask for bands to tell us a memorable road story, whether it was something funny, whether it was something like like embarrassing, if you know, just something memorable from being out on the road.
Soll ich?
Yeah.
Even if it's one of your brothers who's not here.
No. The first thing that comes to my mind is our road to it. It was also a show of the Wacken Metal Battle. It was the show where the Germany,
pre-final or
I think it's a semi-final or something, where bands from Germany North came together to play, and
Okay.
it was at Dong Open Air, a smaller festival with 5,000 to 10,000 people, I guess. And we were on the way to go there, and we have rented a trailer, a little trailer for to carry our gear, and it was a very shitty one. And it just we have been on
Okay.
the motorway, and the wheel got very hot, and it smoked, and we had to stop, and we have already been quite late to get there, to manage to get to play our slot there, to not miss it
Right.
actually. And yeah, that was a big problem because we couldn't go any further with it, smoking and nearly burning. So we picked all our water to cool the wheel down, and then we drove very slowly and picked up some more water, and just every 10 miles stop and cool the wheel down, and then we
Wow.
managed to get on point to our slot there, and it all worked out good.
Nice. Okay. I would definitely say that's memorable. Your trailer
Hap-
almost
So
lighting on fire.
it's
happy ending though.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, not for nothing, one thing that I noticed is you, Marco, you were talking about you were at a smaller festival being 5,000 to 10,000 people.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, a smaller one than Wacken is.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, I
Wacken
know,
is
but
very good.
yeah, but it's well, I mean, I know Wacken gets like tens of thousands of people, but it's still kind of funny that a small one, quote unquote, a small one is like 10,000 people. That's just kind of funny to me, you know, because I couldn't even imagine standing in front of, you know, 5,000 people, let alone 10 or, you know, up to 100,000 people up, you know, like at Wacken. But I mean, so the fact that you guys have had that experience, I'm definitely jealous that you guys have gotten to do that.
Okay,
For sure.
but we have to mention that at the Wacken Festival we did not play our set on the main stage.
Okay.
Because Wacken has very many stages, and they are
Mhm.
not. So we did not have 70,000 listeners
Okay.
when we played there. So it was
Okay.
it was a smaller stage there, but the place was packed then. So it was in a tent. It was a tent stage.
Okay. Okay.
But it was a very big tent. So I don't
Okay.
know how many people have been there, but yeah, it was not the main stage. So
Okay.
that's
All right. Yeah. I didn't know what the layout was. I've never, like I say, I'd never been there. So I didn't know what the layout was. I appreciate you clearing that up, actually. Yeah.
yeah.
So I can still only imagine kind of like what the experience was though anyway. So had to have been awesome. So have you guys had a chance to get over to North America yet?
No, unfortunately not.
not yet.
But we like to, if there's
Yeah.
any possibility, and that's if that's somehow possible, that would be very, very great. Let's see.
Well, Yeah. Well, like I said, if you're close by, we will definitely be there. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you ever make it to North America, I mean, we would definitely get the word out there. But regardless, we do have a segment here on the show where it's called Hitting the Road, where we do talk about concert tours that have been announced. So, if and when, you guys finally do get an itinerary, put together, either let us know what the dates are, or we keep our eye open for that anyway. But if you guys think about it, just let us know when a tour is announced, and we'll definitely get the word out there. Because like I say, we've got people in Europe who do watch the show, so we'll get the word out there the best we can whenever you guys have a tour announced. So
Yeah.
All right, so
will definitely do that.
all right, so I have, Jason, this is one thing that I was gonna run past you, but I want to try something. And since we have a live guest on here, I want to try, and I don't know what I would even call this segment, but I was thinking about calling it speed metal. And what I would like to do, since we have a couple of live guests on here today, I just want to ask some questions, just like some general questions, to where everyone can get to know you guys a little bit better. So, just some general questions, like real quick, like one word answers. Like let's say Marco, like you said you're not a video game guy, so I won't ask that. But are you like a sports guy? Do you have a favorite sport?
Yes, I have. I played soccer for many years, but I do not now because I've had a very bad injury on the knee.
Okay. Ali, what about you?
Pardon?
I also played sports. I played table tennis.
Okay.
But yeah. So I stopped it because I went to university to study mechanical engineering, and then was just not. Then there were not just enough time to play table tennis any longer.
Okay. All right. So all right. Well, I know this is kind of, I mean, I'm already getting off topic, but so did you get a degree as an engineer?
Yes, I get. I don't know. In Germany, it's called Master of Science.
Okay. Yeah, because my
I don't know.
I'm not. Over here in the United States, it might be a bachelor's degree, or it could be a master's degree too. The only reason why I ask is because my grandfather is a retired engineer too, so I was just kind of curious. Okay, so we have soccer and table tennis.
And I played table tennis once too, but then like my partner was a midget and they ran off the table. So
Get out of here, man. Okay. All right. So, okay. Well, Marco, favorite soccer team?
Oh, I don't have one. It is Hannover 96. It is they are in the second
Second level?
second league. I would say so. Not the Premier League, not the
Okay.
first one, not the first professional league. It's the second one, I
Okay.
guess, oder? Olli, die sind doch noch in der zweiten, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's the team which is the nearest from where I live. So I'm with them. But
Okay.
also, since we have some American sports in TV here in Germany, we have American football on TV. So
Okay.
I'm more into football than into watching. I'm more into watching football than into watching soccer.
Okay.
I would say.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, good. All right. Let's see. Favorite foods?
For me, it's pizza. Definitely.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay.
For
All
me,
right, pizza. No, that's fine. That's fine.
that's not very special, but yes, it's
No, that's totally fine. I had pizza for dinner last night, so no, no problem there. All right.
I bet it's probably a lot different over there though.
It might be. Yeah, I don't know.
might be.
Okay, so favorite TV show. Do you guys have like a TV show that you guys watch over there? Or what do you guys like? You guys have streaming services over there like Netflix and stuff like that. You guys have a TV series you guys like to watch?
Oh, for me, it's I would say this sports thing about football or other sports. I do not really watch other TV shows
Okay.
because of the lack of time.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, lack of time. Yeah, I understand that. Ali, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch that many TV series lately, but I started The Boys on Amazon Prime. I
The
don't know.
Boys. Yeah, The Boys is a good one.
Yes, and yeah, I watch some series from time to time, but in the last year, I think it was the only series I watched.
Okay. All right. All right. So, I know you guys have jobs in addition to having the band go on, but if you guys didn't have the band and you could pick your quote unquote dream job, what would it be outside of music?
I don't know.
Okay. All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's
I
fine.
don't know either.
Okay. All right. That's totally fine. Like I say, this was just kind of something I came up with at the drop of a hat. So don't worry about it. It's totally fine.
I'm going to interrupt real quick because I got to know. So, has either one of you guys been to Oktoberfest there?
No,
No.
because we are from more from north of Germany, and
Oh, okay.
Oktoberfest is more in the south, in Munich and Bavaria and this area, which is yes a little bit far away. But for me, it's just not my type of fest.
Yeah.
I would say
All right. Let's see. Okay. Let's see.
I can get drunk at home as well.
Probably for a lot cheaper.
Probably
too,
for a
so-
lot less.
Yes,
Yeah.
and with the people I like.
There
That's
you go.
true.
around
Yeah.
me.
Okay. All right. I don't. Let's see. We got sports and food. All right. Okay. Well, since I know that being from Germany doesn't mean like all the German bands. Kind of like the same thing. But I asked our guest from Sweden the same thing. How many of the other, you don't have to give all of their names, but but I've got like there's a bunch of other bands from Germany that I've listened to for like a long time. Like you talked about Arch Enemy early on in the show, and even though Angela Gassau, she's not in the band anymore, she's the band's manager now, but I mean you've got Powerwolf, you've got Creator, you've got Null Positive, you've got Primal Fear, you got Gravedigger, you got and Accept and Scorpions. Of course you've already told us about the Scorpions. So I mean, what are some of the German bands that you guys have, the other bands that you guys have had an opportunity to meet?
Oh, from the German bands you just mentioned, not so many yet.
Okay.
It's more it's more the bands that are not so popular.
Okay.
I would say, in comparison to the bands that you've mentioned. But there are some great bands from Germany as well. like Deserted Fear or Heaven Shall Burn, but we haven't met them. But they are very popular as well. I don't know if they are popular in the US or it's just in Europe. Or Dust Bolt, maybe you've heard of them.
Dust Boat. Yeah, I love Dust Boat.
Yeah, I was
band.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask you guys. I was gonna ask you guys that next. You know, who are some of the bands from over there that maybe we should keep our eyes open for. So yeah, so thank you for that, because like you say, we Jason and I, we wish this was our full-time job. Like you guys probably wish you could devote full-time to the band. So, there are bands that we may not know of. So we appreciate that. We'll definitely kind of see what we can do as far as listening to those other bands. Of the three that you just mentioned, Marco, I have heard of Heaven Shall Burn. I've heard of them before, but I will check out the other two. So yeah, that's pretty.
And maybe I can mention they are not actually from Germany, but from Luxembourg.
Okay.
Luxembourg is a very small country next to us.
Right. Yeah.
And there is a band called Scarred.
Scarred.
They do also a groovy metal music, and also Mind Patrol. They are very progressive music, which is not my favorite progressive music as it is, but they do very cool music. They seem to understand what is cool. I don't know how to say it, but that's a very cool band, Mind Patrol, and also Scarred. They are both from Luxembourg.
Okay, so Mind Patrol is from Luxembourg too. Okay, all right. All right, nice. Let me write that down real quick. Okay. All right. Nice. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 bands to check out, Jason. That sounds good to me. Well, at least 4, because like you say, you've heard of Dust Bolt, and I've heard of Heaven Shall Burn. So.
Yeah, and I've heard of Heaven Shall Burn too. So.
Oh, have you? Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah, I actually have some Dust Bolt and Heaven Shall Burn songs in my Spotify playlist. So.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right.
In my liked library, I guess is
Yeah, Heaven Shall Burn is also a band who use the vocalist also uses German vocals sometimes. In general, they do English vocals, but they sometimes use German vocals in parts where it just sounded cool and aggressive. So they decided to use German vocals there.
Nice.
It's just little parts of songs sometimes.
Added the aggression where it needed to be added. All right.
Yeah. Also, Creator does this sometimes.
All right. Well, fellas, we won't keep you guys on your Saturday night, any longer. We know, it's you guys. I think are probably pushing 6:30 there. You're 6:30. Yeah. All right. Well, we won't keep you guys any longer, but we definitely appreciate you guys coming on the show. It was really nice to meet the two of you. Hopefully we will, hopefully the next time we speak, first of all, we hope there is a next time we get to talk again. Hopefully the next time, maybe your brothers will be able to come on, and we'll be able to get to meet them and talk to them too. But in the meantime, definitely keep us up to date on the touring plans as they come together. And everybody, like I say, get out there and check out Witness the Mess by Source of Rage. and also check out Realize the Scope. Also, Realize the Scope from 2017, Witness the Mess from last week.
And I was just like looking at that, and I was like realizing it could be a little flow there from realizing the scope, and now you're witnessing the mess.
Exactly. Yeah, the two seem to tie in together. They do.
Yeah.
But Marco, Ali, we greatly appreciate you guys coming on the show. And
Yeah,
hopefully, thank you for having us.
Hopefully, many years down the road that we're both able to do this for a living and hook up again somewhere at a show or something. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
It would be too cool to get over to the US to get something somewhere near to you. That would be great.
So if it makes you feel any better, we when we first the first year we did this, we discovered a band called Angelus Apatrida from Spain, and they had never been to the U.S. Up until this year. So hopefully, not saying we have anything to do with it, but coincidentally, when we talk to bands, they tend to wander into our area for some reason. So we actually talked to a band. Yeah, we actually talked to a band, Eyes of the Living, from up north, and they haven't been in the South at all. And then now they're playing a festival about an hour away from us in October that we're going to. So hopefully we can get into the metal gods' ears and they can make it happen. Get you guys over here. So
yeah,
let's see.
All right. Again, Marco, Ali, Source of Rage, Witness the Mess, new album. You guys check it out. But Marco, Ali,
also, I wanted to give them a chance to is there like a website people can buy merch or anything from? Or?
Yeah.
Yes, our new merch is just on the way to us, and you can definitely check out our homepage, which is sourceofrage.de.
Okay.
And just check it out and follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all this.
And are you able to pick up hard copies of the album through there too?
Yes.
Cool.
Just get us a message and we'll send it, or just get to our label's website, to the shop page, and you can get it from there as well.
Because I'm a hard copy guy. I like to have a physical CD in my hand. So. I like my streaming services, but sometimes I just like to throw a CD in and let it play. So,
very good.
So I will definitely be buying that the Witness the Mess for sure. So,
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes, thank you for having us again. That was a pleasure for us.
Yeah, thank you. And,
yes,
good luck with everything, and I hope you guys get to some touring going on pretty soon, and like I said, hopefully make your way over to the States at some point. So
absolutely. And we've got your guys' homepage up on the screen right there. We're going to leave it up on the screen for the rest of the show. That way everyone can copy and paste that and go visit the website at their leisure. So
yes, thank you.
All right.
Cool.
Thank you guys. I hope you enjoy your Saturday night. We hope to talk to you guys again soon.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So bye. We are leaving.
All right. All right.
Y'all have a good one, man.
Yeah. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Hopefully. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Have a great night.
Bye. Have a great day.
All right. You too. All right. There we go. Source of Rage, everybody.
Good stuff, man. I just think it's so amazing that we've gotten to talk to so many bands from different parts of the world. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. I know. We're slow. We are slowly making our way around Europe.
Yeah. So we're on our European tour this year. So.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're on a tour of the European Union.
Yeah.
Of course, don't tell anyone from the UK that. I think aren't they still trying to get out of the European Union, I think.
Oh, hell, I don't know, man. Who knows what's going on anymore? So,
that's true. But you guys really do need to give Source of Rage's new album a listen. It's really, really good, really diverse. Marco's got a nice mix of vocal styles in there. He's got a little something for everybody. Marco doesn't do full on. He doesn't do any full on death growls or anything like
Right.
that. But I mean, he's got some, he's got the clean lyrics in there. He's got some more, aggressive, metalcore style vocals in there. But I mean, the guitars are clean. The drums are, nice and solid there. The bass drums are nice and gallopy and everything where you need them to be and all that good stuff. So yeah, you guys need to, give them a listen. We definitely don't think you'll be disappointed. So,
don't sleep on this band. I will tell you that. So
no, that I absolutely would not sleep on this band.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if we're doing this show 2-3 years from now, and they're headlining stuff over there. So wouldn't surprise me a bit. So
no, me either. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. Well, I'm going to their website right now. I'm gonna kind of let's put it in English. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, there we go. Yeah, man, dude, all three of them look exactly alike almost.
Yeah. When I looked at the picture, I was like, oh yeah, especially the other two. They definitely.
Yeah, Marco does look a little different than.
Yeah, well, he said the other two were twins. So
yeah. But yeah, Tilo and Rico, they do. It's crazy. Of course, twins do look alike. I get it, but I mean, yeah, it's crazy. Let's see. Let's see what we got in the shop real quick. So, yeah, let's see. Well, they don't have Witness the Mess shirts up yet, but he did also say that the
merch was coming.
Merch was on the way, but they do have a pretty cool Realize the Scope shirt. And I don't know what 12, I can't even remember. Does Germany use euros too? I can't even remember now at this point.
I think so. I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't. Anyway, they've got a Realize the Scope T-shirt from 2019 up on their website for 12. I mean, I know that they used to use marks over in Germany way back then. So I seriously doubt it's 12 marks. But so I don't know if it's 12 euros or what. I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know.
Yeah, it does say euro. Euro is a currency.
Okay, so 12 euros. I don't know what euros translates into in dollars, but I was pretty sure it was almost 1 for 1. Regardless, getting a band shirt for that price. Yeah, I mean, I don't even care if it's their old shirt. Yeah, I don't even care if it's their old shirt. You're not going to find shirts that inexpensive many places. So
right.
But man, I really do love the list of bands that we're compiling as far as, get people who have come on the show and talked to us, man. It's really becoming a who's who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like we will have time to.
Well, like I said, hopefully, like I said, hopefully, like 5 years from now, we're looking at this, and a lot of these bands are, a lot bigger, of course.
Oh God, yeah.
We could look back and say, yeah, they were on the show. Yeah, they were on the show when we first started. So,
So yeah, we knew about them before you did. So,
right, yeah. So yeah, we can kick back into our normal product here. Of course,
yeah,
we usually cut out the history parts when we do the interviews. So
yeah, we can do that
again this week.
Yeah, we can do that again this week. I'll just make a 2-week list for next week. That's fine.
Yeah.
Thankfully,
yeah,
thankfully, well, I mean, like we've said over the last couple of weeks too, that segment is, organically getting, like shorter and shorter and shorter,
right?
Because you can only go over so many, events in history so many times, and we're avoiding redundancy as much as we can, with the exception of like literally the monumental moments in history. So yeah. So we'll do birthdays, news, top 10, and the album reviews.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
There were
gotta-
some pretty big name birthdays this week. I know that.
Yeah, the list wasn't very long, but there were some big names on it. I think pretty much maybe one of the biggest who's who of birthday weeks. That's for sure.
I would say, yeah.
So I'll kick it off here from the 31st to the 6th. Actually, I want to go back and because I missed one last week from July 30th. July 30th, we had Nikon Khosravi, vocalist and guitarist for Confess.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So I don't know how I missed that one, but I'll follow those guys, and I didn't see it till after the show, so I was like, oh well.
Oh, there you go. Well, I mean, it's kind of like some of those. It's kind of like some of those album release dates. Maybe it wasn't posted until after the show. It's a possibility.
Yeah, well, I mean, it come out. Of course, last week was the 30th, so it said "Happy Birthday," Nikon, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize his birthday was today. So,
yeah,
which Confess is going to get another get some love on the birthday list this week. So,
oh, nice. Okay.
So they got another member of the band in here too. So, all right, kicking into July 31st, we had John Five, a guitarist for Rob Zombie and The Devil Knows My Name. We had M. Shadows, vocalist for Avenged Sevenfold, and Alyssa White Blues, vocalist for Arch Enemy. Then August the 1st, we had Joe Elliott, of course, vocalist for Def Leppard, and Dan Donegan, guitarist for Disturbed. August 2nd, we had Jolyn Turner, vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter for Fandango and Rainbow. Jan Axel Blomberg, drummer for Dimmu Borgir. I can never say that name. Dimmu Borgir, Winds, and Mayhem. Then we had Oli. I don't know Oli's last name or whatever. They just had Oli on there, but he was the guitarist for Confess. So he had a birthday on August the 2nd as well. If you don't follow that band, do yourselves a favor, because that is like one of the craziest stories in metal. It's a wild ass story. We reached out to them a couple of times, but now that we've I've seen them on a couple of different interviews, I'm just like I wouldn't even want to like hit them up for that story anymore, because they're probably tired of telling it at this point. But it is a real interesting story. Then let's see, August the 3rd, we had Martin Atkins, a drummer for Nine Inch Nails. We had James Hetfield, a vocalist and guitarist from a little band called Metallica. We had Stephen Carpenter, guitarist for the Deftones. Brandon Chapati, singer for Bleeding Through. August the 4th, we had Robin Crosby, guitarist and vocalist for Rat. He unfortunately passed away in 2002. Then we had Max Cavalera, guitarist and singer for Sepultura, Soulfly, Kill or Be Killed, Go Ahead and Die, 50 other bands. Just name it. He's been in it. So then we had August the 5th, Eddie Fingers Ojeda, guitarist for Twisted Sister and Scarecrow. We had Pat Smear, guitarist for the Foo Fighters, and then we had Christian Old Wolbers, guitarist for Fear Factory. And then August the 6th had Vinnie Vincent, guitarist for Kiss from 82 to 84. So that was our birthdays this week. So happy birthday to those. And for anybody I forgot, happy birthday to you. And of course, anybody out there listening had a birthday, happy birthday to you as well.
Yes.
It's Leo season, so.
Oh, yeah. For those of you who are into astrology. Yeah, sure. All right. Well, moving on into the current events, and definitely coming down off the high of getting to talk to Marco and Ollie. We're gonna lead off with a little bit of a somber moment again this week, unfortunately. Over at blabbermouth.net, former Samson singer Nikki Moore has died at the age of 75. Moore passed away Wednesday morning, August 3rd, after battling Parkinson's disease. Moore's death was confirmed on his official Facebook page. Quote, "It is with immense sadness and almost unbearably heavy hearts that we have to let you all know that Nicky, a man larger than life in body and spirit, has sadly passed away this morning," a statement reads. "A man that lived 1,000 lifetimes in just one has decided he needed a rest. Rest well, dear friend. We will all miss you, X." end quote. Moore famously joined Samson as its lead singer in 1981 following the departure of Bruce Dickinson, who had left to join Iron Maiden. Moore left Samson in the late 1980s and rejoined in the late 1990s. After his initial departure from Samson, Moore sang in the band Mammoth, which also featured former Gillan bassist John McCoy. Mammoth released 2 albums before splitting up in 1989. In 2006, Moore teamed up with former Nazareth guitarist Manny Charlton and 3 musicians from the Swedish band Locomotive Breath to record an album under the band name From Behind. The band performed at the Sweden Rock Festival that same year. Since 1994, Moore had been working with his own band, Nicky Moore and the Blues Corporation, who were voted top live blues band by BBC Radio 2 listeners in the year 2000. Moore is survived by his sons, Nick Jr. and Timmy. So our thoughts go out to the Moore family there. So,
all right. My first story here is over from Loudwire. A Lollapalooza security guard was arrested over the weekend for allegedly sending text and faking Facebook posts that said there was a mass shooting imminent at the festival. The 18-year-old guard is accused of making up the threats so she wouldn't have to work the music festival and go home early. ABC7 Chicago reported this weekend worker Janya Williams was behind bars after being charged with sending a fake text threatening the festival to a coworker. The text read, "Mass shooting at 4 p.m. Location Lollapalooza. We have 150 targets." This anonymous text sent via text now set off a chain reaction in the Chicago Police Department and the FBI after security supervisors notified authorities. Williams shared another made-up threat later. She allegedly told her boss that her sister had alerted her to another mass shooting threat on Facebook and produced a screenshot from a fake account that Williams had made. Prosecutors say the message read, "Massive shooting at Lollapalooza, Grant Park, 6 p.m. The message was never actually posted on Facebook. The ruse unraveled after authorities uncovered that Williams had sent the initial text, according to Block Club Chicago. An investigation into the Apple iCloud account and an IP address showed they belonged to the defendant. Prosecutors said that when Williams was brought in for questioning, she admitted she sent the text and created the fake post in order to leave work early. Lollapalooza 2022 was sold out for the weekend shows, meaning there were about 100,000 people that could have been evacuated when Williams allegedly wanted to take some me time. So,
Jesus, I kind of hope I don't know what the charges would be for that, but I hope it's a felony.
yeah, I do too, man. If not, then let's find her Facebook account and let's send her a bunch of hate mail. So,
Yeah, let's do that. Because I mean, not to get off on a topic we don't usually cover here, but I mean, there's enough real mass shootings that happen in this country,
right?
But to use that as an excuse to get out of work is just fucking cold.
Yeah, there's something mentally wrong with your ass if you're doing that. I mean,
yeah,
hell, just leave, man. Like, what the hell? Like,
I mean, hell, just for fuck's sake, just call out with COVID for fuck's sake. I mean,
yeah, tell them you got the shits and you got to go home. I mean, that's
yeah, something. I mean, something that's just gonna affect you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Freaking ridiculous.
I mean, good God. All right. Staying over at Blabbermouth, Wolfsbane guitarist Jace Edwards has been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, a bone marrow cancer that there is currently no cure for. The long-running British hard rockers broke the news of Jason's diagnosis in a social media post on August 1st. They wrote, quote, "As you all know, Jace played the Genius Tour with a fractured vertebrae. We actually found out in the van on the way up to Edinburgh. I'm depending on how you guys pronounce it over there. I don't want to butcher the name of the town, so I'm sorry there. With no impact or injury, he's been having tests to ascertain the cause. It is with deep regret we have to inform you that Jace has been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. This is a bone marrow cancer that there is currently no cure for. It is, however, treatable. He started his first cycle of chemotherapy within 2 weeks of the tour ending and will hopefully go on to have a stem cell transplant in around 4 months' time. This has come out of the blue and is a massive shock to us all. He is mostly fine in himself and is looking forward to spending more time in the studio." Wolfsbane's first album in a decade, Genius, was released in June. The artwork for the LP was designed by Simon Mackey Piasecki, who also created the covers for Wolfbane's 1990 EP, All Hell's Breaking Loose Down at Little Kathy Wilson's Place, and 1991's album Downfall, The Good Guys. Wolfsbane current lineup consists of Edwards, ex-Iron Maiden vocalist Blaze Bailey, who you may have heard of, bassist Jeff Haitley, and drummer Steve Danger. Wolfsbane burst out of the Midlands in the mid-1980s, signed to Rick Rubin's Deaf American label in 1989, built up a massive following of self-titled Howling Mad Shitheads, HMS, and released 3 raucous albums before imploding in 1994 when Bailey joined Iron Maiden. Wolfsbane reformed in 2011 to record its first studio album in 17 years, Wolfsbane Save the World, released in January 2012 to huge acclaim. So hopefully, he's having it treated, but hopefully they caught it early enough to where the treatments will be effective. That way, he can, lead a normal life. But man, I've never been through it myself, but I mean, I've heard horror stories about, chemotherapy and just what it does to people. So, I mean, definitely hope he doesn't have to go through that too much. 'Cause that's just, man, it just takes a toll. So good luck, and our thoughts go out to him.
All right. I'm going to stick with Loudwire here. This is trying to change the mood a little.
Man, sorry about that.
I mean, it's all, like I said, it's not all good news. So, but we got to report it. So,
yep.
During the last show of Steve Vai's European Inviolate tour, the guitar great, gave a young fan a priceless memory at his show in Barcelona, and it all started with a taxi ride, according to the musician. Vai revealed via Instagram, there was an excited cab driver that wanted me to get into his car to take me to the venue. During the drive, he was excited to show me a video clip of his son playing For the Love of God, and I was actually pretty impressed with the way this boy played. At the concert at Tivoli Theater, Vai saw the kid in the audience with his dad, so I decided to make his day, and he certainly kicked some ass, says the guitarist. It was a splendid way to cap off an outstanding tour. Vai makes his way to the kid in the audience and motions for him to come here and hands him his guitar. The entire theater cheers him on as he puts his hands over his mouth in shock and then takes the guitar from Vai. The kid immediately starts shredding and walking toward the stage. The boy is overcome with emotion and is crying while dropping to his knees and playing solo on stage. The kid, whose name is Daniel Jimenez, shakes Vai's hand and hugs him before giving him his guitar back, and the theater erupts in applause. Jimenez posted about his experience on Instagram too, calling it the happiest day of my life. The kid thanked Vai for inviting me to your concert, and thank you for giving me the wonderful surprise of going on stage to play with your own guitar. He revealed that he had to stop playing because he started to cry, and again thanked Vai for, quote, giving me the opportunity to let me know you as a persona and being able to chat with you about music. This day is going to be burned in my memories. You are a great musician and a great person. You are an example for me to follow, end quote. So, feel good story there. I'm glad that
definitely.
You don't go to a concert every day and get to play the a guitar legend like Steve Vai's guitar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, you do not. All right, I am going I want to call it funny, but it's not funny, haha. It's more funny strange. But I've got two sets of stories that tied directly into each other. So I'm gonna go over to PRP for a couple here. Let's see. I have Canadian progressive metal outfit Protest the Hero have announced the departure of their drummer Mike Iardi. Did I say that right? Looks like Iardi. Sorry. An official statement on the matter was issued on August 3rd and reads as follows: It's with many emotions that we announce the departure of longtime bandmate and pal Mike Iardi. I said it wrong again, didn't I? Mike Iardi. I-E-R-A-D-I. Iardi? I don't know. I'm doing my best here. So, so if I said it wrong, I wholeheartedly apologize. Mike joined PTH in late 2013 as we were beginning to tour Volition. In addition to being a ripper on the Kickers, Mike was a heavy lifting writer on Pacific Myth and Palimpsest, and you'll even hear his influence on what we release next. We wish him all the best as he pursues greener pastures. Though we've yet to determine who will be filling his silly little drum shoes, PTH is planning to continue performing live and making new music in the not-so-distant future. More on that later. Here's some words from Mike himself. With nothing but love, I will be stepping away from Protest the Hero. Our show in Edmonton next month will be my last. It's been just under a decade of the best times, the best pals, the most laughs, and incredible experiences. From the bottom of my heart, thank you to every single person who has made this chapter of my life unforgettable. The band's final live show with E-Ratty will take place at Union Hall in Edmonton, Alberta on September 11th. Other bands on that bill include, and let's see, Misery Signals, Monine, Choke, The Full Blast, Living with Lions, The Holy Shit Years, Calling All Captains, Carpenter, Drive-By Punch, Norel, Nicholas Rage, and Medical Pilot. So good luck to Mike with his future endeavors. And let's see, then we also have, what else do we have? We have also at the PRP, we have Black Crown Initiate guitarist Andy announced his exit from the band. He issued the below statement on his departure. Quote, "It's been a long, wonderful, crazy journey, and I'd just like to say I am no longer a member of Black Crown Initiate. There is no bad blood whatsoever, and I'd like to thank all our fans, friends, and affiliates from all over the world. I'll see y'all around for sure. The band does intend to continue. Stay tuned," end quote. James Dorton, who fronts the aforementioned band, recently joined the Faceless, but has confirmed via social media that he also remains a member of Black Crown Initiate. Speaking of Thomas's leaving the fold today, Dorton offered, quote, as you might have seen on the BCI Gram, Andy is no longer with the band. There's no bad blood. In the decade that's passed since we started this band with Nick, the man has become like a brother to me, and he will be missed. The rest of the band and I wish him well. BCI has some work to do, but we will continue on. Stay tuned. So whatever future plans those two gentlemen have, hope it works, and hope for their former bands moving forward. So, let's see. I'll do one more real quick because this is literally just it's more of a headline really. But over at the PRP, a new Ultimates quote-unquote action figure of Motorhead's Lemmy has been announced. After several figures via Super 7's reaction line, the late great Motorhead vocalist bassist Ian Lemmy Kilmister is graduating to the 7-inch scale Ultimates form. Pre-orders for the figure, which comes with a host of accessories, can be found over at super7.com for a limited time. And to save time, there's a picture of it. There's like 3 different heads you can put on the figure, and if you can see between the figure and the mic stand, those are different hands that you can add. So you can add different hands to the figure, and yes, as Lemmy was known to do, some of the hands are of the bird finger. So. And there's a bass, there's a mic stand with his signature kind of microphone pointed at a 45-degree angle downwards, and it wouldn't be complete without a little teeny tiny bottle of Jack. So,
oh yeah.
So there you go.
All right, I got one over here for Metal Injection. I was talking about this earlier in the show. So this is the actual story. Australian metalcore act Alpha Wolf is currently out on the road in the U.S., and vocalist Loki Keogh isn't too thrilled about the venue merch cuts. During a recent show, Keogh called out venues for taking 20% merch cuts from the bands playing and noted that the loss is really cutting into bottom lines. Before we go, I want to mention every band on this tour has merch still over there. We're all trying to get the same shit done. It doesn't matter whose merch you buy, any bit of money you spend helps, especially when these dirty fucking venues are taking 20% of it from the bands playing tonight. It's like we're not making any fucking money anyway. You think venues doing that could afford some good fucking air conditioning, but apparently not. So little upset there. So I'm not sure like what goes into all that, but to me, if I'm in a band and the venue's got that in the contract, I'm not playing there. Sorry. I mean, you don't have a damn thing to do with my merch.
No, you don't.
You know, that's usually how the bands make most of their money. It's off their merch. So
Yeah. So I mean, and like I don't know all of the business side to it, you know. So
Right.
like when we went to Chattanooga to see the Bay Strikes Back, you know, obviously we walked in, you know, they had the merch tables off to the left as we walked in, you know, Exodus, Death Angel, and Testament. They all had their merch tables, but then I don't know how many people actually ended up at that show, but you know the Signal themselves, not calling out the Signal, but that's where that's where we saw the show. But the Signal makes the money off the tickets,
Right.
you know, because they're the ones hosting the show. Why the hell would like I say, I'm not calling out the Signal. Why the hell would a venue in general need to take a fifth of the money from the stuff that the band made themselves, brought themselves, and is selling themselves just because they're taking up a little corner of the building that wasn't
Right.
being used for anything anyway?
And not to mention they probably sell food and beer and
Exactly,
whatnot in inside
exactly.
the bar area as
Yeah,
well. So
yeah, and
so
none of the
they're making a killing off of that. So
yeah, yeah, and you know the band isn't getting any money of concessions, which they shouldn't be because
right.
it's not because
Yeah.
the band didn't buy the beer,
But that's what
or
I
the
would have
liquor
told
or
them.
the food.
I'd have been like, yeah, you get 20% of my merch when I get 20% of your fucking bar.
The
So
concessions, yeah, you know. So I mean, and I know I know I've talked to you about this guy before, but I have a coworker who was in a band here,
yeah,
and we were talking about this very same story, and we were talking about shirt prices, and he says when they go to a show, he says they sell shirts. Their shirts, they only sell shirts for $15.
right.
So, which one is kind of unheard of. And then two, if a venue takes $3 out of every $15 shirt, that's ridiculous. You know, so I don't know. And I was reading a story about this before we came on the air. And in the story that I read, I can't remember what website it was because I just kind of did a general Google search because I wanted to have all the details down for the story because I knew it would probably be something that came up. One of the opening lines in this particular story said that venues taking 20% of merch sales from a band is like standard industry practice. First of all, that's news to me, and two, I'm kind of
Right.
like you. If a venue's like, well, we get 20% of every shirt, I'd be like, well, you can 20% of fuck off, you know. So,
Right.
you know, yeah, no. So,
But well,
but good, but
you can find another band to play this show because I'm moving on, bitch. How about that?
well, yeah, I mean, that would be something. That would be some, and that would be something that I would tell. I would be like, hey, like if we had a promoter, you know, like we were talking to the guys from Source of Rage and they're trying to put together an itinerary themselves. But if you and I were in a band and we had a promoter and we'd be like, and we found out that certain venues on the tour, like they want some of your merch money, you know, at this one bar, we'd be like, you better find another bar in that town or find another town in that state.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's bullshit. You know, because these venues get you by the short hairs anyway. Especially like
Right.
when we went to see Megadeth, you know, at Bridgestone. You know, the amount of money that it costs for beer, the amount of money it costs for parking. They get you inside these venues. They literally have you trapped there, more or less. You know, so if you're thirsty,
the parking thing always kind of pissed me off too. It's just like I've already bought the ticket. I shouldn't have to pay to park. I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean that's kind of a completely different thing because that's really on the particular city. But you know, we've pissed and moaned about the parking situation in Nashville anyway. You know, especially with the way traffic is getting. But $30 to park your car for one event, man, you
that's
can take
crazy.
Yeah, you should take a flying leap. But you know. But I mean, hell, that's for concerts, that's for fucking sporting events, that's for
everything.
so I mean, that's for everything. So you know, it's not just exclusive to music shows. So
Yeah, but I mean, if you're putting out there and say Bridgestone Arena's putting out there where they profited, say they put somewhere they profited $20 million last year. Well, okay, well then why do you need to charge me for parking?
mm-hmm. Right.
Like you're profiting millions of dollars. You don't need my parking money, dude.
Yeah, or you know, either that or you know, drop the cost of a beer or a piece of pizza maybe $1 or $2. Fucking stop being so goddamn. So stop being ridiculous. Because
it goes back to greed. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. because you're talking when you're especially when you're talking a venue like Bridgestone, because you got the Predators are in there 41 times,
Right.
because there's 82. You got an 82 game hockey season, so there's 41. There's 41 hockey games. Then no telling how many concerts are in that building across all genres of music. You got
Right.
comedy tours that come through there. So I even think they have monster trucks in there. So
Yeah.
there's no telling how many dates are filled by that one building. So it's just ridiculous.
And then I'm pretty sure they had a arena football there too at one point.
They used to, yeah. I don't know if they do anymore. I know they used to.
So yeah, there was a lot going on in that building for them to be charging you $30 to fucking park. I get like $5 or $10. I do, like $5 or $10 to park, cool. But
well, and especially in a downtown area like Nashville, where even on like a fucking just random ass Tuesday night, you go down Broadway, that fucking place is packed. So even if you were only charging people $10 every fucking lot on every one of those surface lots, you can't get a spot.
Right.
So you got 150 spots at $10 a pop. You're talking $10,000 to $15,000 a night, man. It's ridiculous. Just to let people literally park a car in your little asphalt parking lot, and there's like, and none of them, well, I would say almost none of them are manned anymore. So they're not paying an employee. They've just got that little fucking kiosk you got to use your debit card.
Yeah.
So there's basically no overhead. So it's ridiculous. But it's just another example of like the consumer or the little guy just getting screwed. So.
Well, yeah.
Of course. All right, moving over to Metal Injection for one. This is going to tie into my next one. This is the second set of my related stories here. Metalocalypse will get the ending it deserves hopefully sometime next year. The movie will be follow-up to the 2013 movie The Doomstar Requiem, and according to show creator Brendan Small, is currently being written and produced. Small said in an interview with Sarah Parker of 93.3 WMMR that he's quote-unquote knee-deep in writing the finale but can't say too much about it. Quote, I can tell you what has already been released, which is that we are making a feature Metalocalypse movie, and that's what we're in production on right now. So we're right in the middle of making the movie. So all the questions that were still lingering after the Doomstar Requiem, a 1 hour long rock opera special, are being answered. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's a very big project. We're all excited to be knee deep in it right now, end quote. When asked for a release date, Small simply replied that it'll be up to Adult Swim to decide. Quote, I just know that I've still got work to do, he added. All we know so far is from the synopsis provided by Adult Swim in 2021, which reads, quote, the power-hungry tribunal unveils their secret and deadly Falconback project as the world grows in embattled chaos and the menacing Doomstar breaches the Earth's atmosphere while the mysterious and twisted descent of a band member threatens the future of Deathclock. Picking up directly after the heroic rescue of Toki Wartooth, can Deathclock choose between their egos and the greater good of the world to embark on a gauntlet of games that will try their very souls and finally write the song that will be their salvation, end quote. Metalocalypse originally ran between 2006 and 2013, culminating in the Doomstar Requiem. In 2015, Metalocalypse fans campaigned for one final season of the show. In April 2016, Adult Swim launched a petition to make Adult Swim, you read that correctly, sign the petition to bring back Metalocalypse, as well as launched a live video feed of a fax machine with all entries going directly into a recycling bin. So they weren't exactly taking things seriously back then, but here we are. So, and I don't know how much of that show you ever watched, Jason, but I mean, Angela and I, we've got the first 3 seasons on DVD, and we watched the 1 hour movie. So basically we've seen the series in its entirety. So the fact that they're going to work on tying up all the loose ends that was left over from, almost 10 years ago now, which is ridiculous. So that's good that they're working on that. So hopefully that'll be coming out too relatively soon. And then in my tie-in, going back over to the PRP, Brendan Smollett, co-creator of the animated heavy metal series Metalocalypse and mastermind behind the real-life incarnation of the band Death Clock, has revealed that he was recently the victim of a robbery. Speaking on social media on August 5th, he announced that his studio in Los Angeles was broken into with numerous guitars having been stolen. You can see a list of what was taken below. Let's see, what do we got here? What did he, let's see, he has a Les Paul Gold Top 57 reissue, an Ibanez JS24 Orange, an Ibanez Gem Universe, a Moog Guitar Black, a Gibson Thunder Horse Prototype, Gibson SG Tobacco Burst 12-string, Gibson SG Standard Black, Gibson Les Paul, oh, wait a minute, Gibson Les Paul 59 Tobacco Burst reissue, Gibson Buckethead Studio Les Paul, a Kramer 1984, an unfinished Warmoth Strat Maple Top, and a Fender 54 Custom Shop Strat reissue. So you're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guitars were stolen from Brendan Small's studio. So,
and those guitars are not the cheap guitars either.
No, they're not cheap, and some of those are. It sounds like they're one-offs. So I mean, you're talking like one of ones. Can't be reproduced. So it's just another.
It sounds like it's about hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of guitars. So.
Probably, so I mean, it's just I don't know how many stories this has been just in 2022. Not even talking about last year. I don't know how many stories this has been in 2022 about the amount of bands who have been robbed or attempted robberies and shit like that. It's just so irritating. I'm sure and I'm sure he was insured, but that's not the point. You're losing the rarity of these items, and who knows
especially if they're one of one. I mean, it's
and you're talking about Les Pauls from 57 and 59, shit like that. Even though they were reissues, that's not the point, So just ridiculous. Hopefully, maybe he had some of those air tags on some of them, and eventually they'll be tracked down or something like that. But I wouldn't put odds on it.
Yeah. All right, I got my last one over here from Metal Sucks. There was uncertainty about the future of Maryland Death Fest, the world's largest known gathering of people who know what gore grind is. When the 2022 edition of the festival concluded in April, shortly before the event took place, organizers Ryan Taylor and Evan Harding announced they would not produce any festivals in 2023 and that Maryland Death Fest may never happen again. Quote, we're sorry to inform you that we will not be organizing any festivals at all in 2023, including Maryland Death Fest. There's a chance that 2022 could be the last edition of Maryland Death Fest, but we're unable to determine that right now, one way or another. What we can say now is that we're going on hiatus, and we'll decide during this much-needed break if the festival will return in 2024. There are many variables at play that will impact the decision to possibly bring it back in 2024, including the state of world and if we have the ability to put other things in our personal lives on hold to give to the event the kind of attention it has always needed and received. Good news to report, Maryland Death Fest will ride again. May 23rd through the 26th, 2024. It was announced on the Facebook post. Maryland Death Fest will return in 2024 for its 19th edition on May 23rd through the 26th of 2024. We won't be determining the venue format, booking, announcing bands, or going on sale with tickets for Maryland Death Fest until sometime in the first half of 2023. But for now, go ahead and pencil in the dates. Moving forward, Maryland Death Fest will be the one and only festival we produce. The upcoming UK Death Fest in London next month will be the last of our events outside of Maryland. That means no more Quebec, California, Netherlands, or UK Death Fest, which is certainly a bummer, but it's great to know the flagship event will be back after the organizers take a much-deserved break. The 2022 version of the fest included obituary, coroner, suffocation, violence, and more. So good news there. So that's always good to see that it'll be back in 2024. Which I think we did a story on. Was it JB Josta that did
the Milwaukee one?
Yeah.
So maybe some of those other ones will be resurrected by somebody else.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, like I said, it's those people in those areas are probably bummed that there's nothing going to be coming through there anymore.
Mhm.
So,
Absolutely.
that just kind of puts me into a perspective of last Saturday when I went to the warehouse here in Clarksville to the Metal Fest there. That they're closing their doors. That was the last 2 shows in the building. So,
And I still hate that.
yeah, but they did say they were going to relocate, which it's still sad. They spent 30 years in that one location.
Mhm.
And the wall of fame up there was a who's who of bands. Adelita's Way, Non Point,
Mhm.
Corey
Fozzy.
Taylor had been there by himself. So it was pretty crazy to see
Yeah.
the names of bands up there. So, 10 years, a lot of big bands up there. So.
Yeah, see, but that's the thing, though. They're going to relocate, which is nice, which is good that they're going to be able to do that. But why couldn't the fucking whatever it is that's going to be built on the site where the warehouse is? Why can't that fucking thing move?
Yeah, right.
Ridiculous. We were here first. You fucking move.
Well, they should, they being there that long though, they should have tried to buy the property. But they probably,
I guess
they probably didn't think anything about it. They probably just, maintenance and stuff on a building that old is probably rough too. So,
well, yeah, there may be some overhead costs, but so yeah, we definitely don't know all the ins and outs, but it's still sad when when like a festival doesn't come back or a venue like that closes. It's all we went through the same thing with Starwood, and that site is literally still to this day, 16 years later, sitting there empty and overgrown.
Yep.
Haven't done anything with it. Damn place closed in 2006, and here we are, still. It's still. You could almost understand it if they closed it to put something on it.
Yeah, but it's just been sitting there empty with nothing on it.
It's literally just overgrown, fenced off, and empty.
No, they should have just kept playing concerts. It's just
They should have. They should have.
Crazy.
All right, I've got my last one. Over at Blabbermouth. This one is this one's nice, and some of the numbers in this one are kind of mind-boggling here, which you'll see in a minute. For its 40th anniversary, Polestar, the trade publication dedicated to covering the worldwide concert industry, has created 2 special charts that reflect the overall impact of box office realities during the 4 decades of the Polestar era, beginning in 1980 through the present. The 2 special charts present the quote-unquote top touring artists of the Polestar era, both ranking the top 150 headlining acts during Polestar's entire history. Each listing is comprised of cumulative totals for each artist and compiled from all the thousands of box office reports Polestar received since the early 1980s. Both charts present the top touring artists, but one is ranked by gross and the other by the number of tickets sold. For both, Polestar has counted only headlining shows for each act, omitting results from any festival appearance since the festival itself is eligible to rank on the all-time box office chart, as many of them have. So keep that in mind when we start reading these numbers. Polestar also did not include any event where the touring artist participated as a support act. Again, keep that in mind. Notable acts included on the top touring artist of the Polestar era box office grosses lists include number 9, Metallica, $1,219,599,179. Now keep in mind, that's just doing headlining shows, no support acts, no festivals, $1.2 billion just as a headliner off of ticket sales. The top touring metal artist of the last 40 years, Metallica. Number 9 on the all-time chart, number 1 heavy metal act of the last 40 years. Then you've got Guns N' Roses, 751 million at 23, AC/DC at 27, 668 million. Number 41, Kiss, 532. Number 42, Def Leppard, 514. Iron Maiden, 44, 475. Why Muse is on here, I don't have any fucking clue. Foo Fighters, 397. Motley Crue, 367. Pearl Jam, 351. And then the list goes on and on and on. So, and even Ozfest was at number 143, still made $174 million off of ticket sales. And Ozzy himself made $186 million So, and this is just the number of tickets sold. This is the list of number of tickets sold. Metallica is number 6 all time with 19,468,173 tickets sold. That's where that $1.2 billion comes from, selling 19.5 million tickets.
Yeah.
So number 6 all time on that Polestar list in ticket sales, number 9 in overall gross. So, and also the best selling artist on the Nielsen sound scan charts. So.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, it's definitely coming.
I would actually be disappointed if it wasn't. But,
You're right. So almost 20 million tickets, $1.2 billion in ticket sales. So,
all right, I got a little
good for Metallica.
Go ahead. You're right. Yeah. And then of course, they're I seen a story too where they was talking about how they're creating new metalheads from the show Stranger Things. So so it's kind of cool that people are starting to venture over. Anyway, I got a couple of headlines here.
Okay.
Phil Demmel will miss violent shows. Former Lizzie Borden guitarist will fill in. And the reason why is because Violence guitarist Phil Demmel is to fill in for Lamb of God on their European tour. I don't know why, that they didn't really say, but so I'm not sure.
He's got he supposedly has some quote unquote stuff to take care of at home.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, it just says there was no reason given, so I was like, oh,
right. That was the only quote I saw from him on that. So he didn't go into any detail. He just said he has some shit to take care of at home.
Yeah. Who said that? Phil said that, or
no? Willie Adler said it.
Willie Adler. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't know whose spot he was taking. So
yeah, he's taking Willie Adler's spot, and Willie Adler said he just has some stuff to take care of at home. That's all he said.
Gotcha. Oh man. So all right, moving on. Botch appears to be teasing a reunion tour. Max Cavalera on the Pantera reunion, he says the fans deserve to hear those songs, and I agree.
I agree.
Because I mean, if Rex and Phil don't play them, then they're never going to be heard again. So,
and in all honesty, that would be a real shame. I mean, I don't know. I mean, people are allowed to feel however they want about it. We talked about it last week that we don't necessarily think it should be called a reunion. Call it a celebration, call it a tribute. That's a little more.
Well, that's what Zach Wild actually said. It was going to be a tribute. So
yeah. So I mean that makes more sense. But as far as I mean, the other half of the band should still be able to play the songs live if they want to. I mean, they were just as instrumental in the rise to fame of the band as the other two. I mean, obviously Vinny and Dime are gone, and we all hate that, but that shouldn't disqualify Rex and Phil from ever playing the songs again. So, and then I did see where Charlie Benante said he's going to do his damnedest to make sure that if you close your eyes, that it's going to sound like Vinnie Paul is playing the drums.
Yeah.
So these guys are gonna take this shit seriously, and they're gonna do it justice. They're gonna make
it as authentic as it can be. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
look forward to it. Yeah,
I'm all for it, and I do it too. That's gonna be one that I will, that's gonna be one of those hell or high water shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, then Striper's Michael Sweet said that I don't believe that grunge killed hair metal. No, because we've talked about this before. Hair metal killed hair metal because it all started sounding the same.
Yep. Yeah.
Then Nightwish is going to begin recording their next album in the summer of 2023, and then Trouble begins recording their first studio album in nearly a decade. So a lot of new albums being recorded. So.
Yep.
Just keeps on,
which is always good to hear.
And then I had a couple of hitting the road.
Okay.
inserts. I don't know if you got anything or not, but
Yeah, I had about 2.5 pages, so a little
okay.
more than last week, but far from the longest list I've ever had.
Right. So the first one that I found was Lorna Shore aborted, ingested, Angel Maker, and Of Sulfur announced a North America tour that kicks off on October 21st in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Theater of Living Arts, and that will wind up on November 20th in Montreal, Quebec at La Austral. And then, of course, they will be in Nashville at the Brooklyn Bowl on October 26th.
Mm-hmm.
So that Brooklyn Bowl is getting some action this year. So.
Yeah, it is actually. Just like the concourse in Knoxville.
Yeah, right. Then the Hatebreed announced a Perseverance anniversary tour with Gate Creeper, Bleeding Through, Body Snatcher, and Dying Wish. The dates with Gate Creeper, Body Snatcher, and Dying Wish will kick off October 27th in Virginia Beach, Virginia at Elevation 27. And that one will end on November 15th in Seattle, Washington at the Showbox. Then with Bleeding Through, Body Snatcher, and Dying Wish, that will kick off 11/17 in San Francisco at the Regency Ballroom. And then they have two shows at the House of Blues, 19th and the 20th. The 19th in Anaheim and the 20th in San Diego, both at the House of Blues.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's good to see that Bleeding Through is coming back out and around.
Yeah, and they're actually, I mean, like I said, one of them, the lead singer had a birthday, and then he's getting it back in the news again. So, yeah, it's a good band. I like Bleeding Through. So,
yeah.
Then we had Motionless in White, Black Veil Brides, and Ice Nine Kills announced the third leg of their North American tour with Crown the Empire. That on that part of the tour is on 8/30. I think this may be the current tour with Crown the Empire.
Yeah, the third leg is going to have the Treyu as the opener. Yeah.
So they're still on tour with Crown the Empire though right now, and they will be in Denver, Colorado on 8/30 at the Red Rocks Amphitheater, and then they'll end that one on October 29th at Las Vegas, Nevada, with the When We Were Young festival. So then they kick off the third leg with a Treyu on October 31st, which, why not on Halloween, right?
Right, yeah.
in El Paso, Texas at the El Paso County Coliseum. That's right up right down Myrna's way there. Then that will end on December 12th in Seattle, Washington at the WAMU Theater. So that's the only ones that I had found. So
okay, well, that's cool. All right, well, for my contribution here, starting off at the PRP like normal, I have Unearth, Madball, and Undeath going on a quick September tour starting September 18th in Indianapolis, Indiana at Deluxe at the Old National Center, rounding out on September 22nd in Birmingham, Alabama at Iron City. That's going to be, Unearth only. There's no Nashville date, but the tour will be in Memphis, Tennessee on September 21st at Growlers. Then we have Exhorter and Capra. They're going on a mini tour, they're calling it, but it's literally just a weekend. They're going to be in Lafayette, Louisiana on October 27th at the Grant Street Music Hall, in Shreveport, Louisiana at The Lot downtown on October 28th, and they're going to be in Long Beach, Mississippi at the Trax Bar. That's going to be Exhorter only on October 29th. So, I wouldn't exactly call it a mini tour. It's just, right. They're going to be playing the weekend. So anyway, then we've got the Bronx, the Chats, Drug Church, and Scowl going out starting October 4th in San Diego, California at Music Box, finishing October 23rd in Boston, Massachusetts at Big Night Live. No Nashville date there. Then we have Seosin. They've announced some West Coast shows. They're going to be in Roseville, California at Goldfield Trading Post on October 19th, San Francisco, California at the Regency Ballroom on October 20th. They are going to be at the When We Were Young Fest in Las Vegas on October 22nd and 23rd. They're going to be at Garden Amphitheater in Garden Grove, California on the 27th and 28th. And then, strangely enough, they're going to be back in Las Vegas at the When We Were Young Fest on October 29th. So that's seems like a little weird bouncing back and forth. But,
yeah.
But, then we have City of Caterpillar, who I've never heard of before. But anyway, they're going to be going out. Yeah. They're going to be going out September 26th in Washington, D.C. at Black Cat, and they're going to be finishing up Halloween night in Nashville at Dark Matter. So then we have A Day to Remember going out. They will be with Magnolia Park starting on October 2nd in Birmingham, Alabama at the Legacy Arena at the BJCC, finishing on October 7th in San Diego at the Petco at the Park. Then they will be with Movements and Magnolia Park starting October 10th in Portland, Oregon at Theater of the Clouds, finishing October 22nd in Mesa, Arizona at the Mesa Amphitheater. Then they will be with Ghost Inside Movements and Magnolia Park on October 28th in Irvine, California at the Five Points Amphitheater. No Nashville date on that tour. Then Terror will be going out in September. The opening acts are to be announced starting September 5th in Cleveland, Ohio at No Class, finishing September 22nd in Rochester, New York at Water Street Music Hall. No Nashville date, but they will be in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Concourse on September 20th. Then Drowning Pool is going to be going out. The openers also are yet to be announced, starting September 17th in Orlando, Florida at the Central Florida Metal Fest, finishing October 14th in Katy, Texas at the Wildcatter Saloon. There's no Nashville date, but they will be in Memphis, Tennessee at Lafayette's Music Room on September 26th and will be in Knoxville at the Concourse on October 11th. Then
Surely
Chelsea
not the Concourse.
I know. Then Chelsea Grin, KO Nashi, and Filth are going out on a quick run in September, starting September 9th in Jacksonville, Florida at Hooligans, finishing September 17th in Orlando, Florida, also at the Central Florida Metal Fest. They will be in Nashville on September 15th at the end. Then Oceano, Left to Suffer, Crown Magnetar, and No Suffer going out starting September 18th in Overland Park, Kansas at Vivo's, finishing October 24th in Houston at the White Oak Music Hall. No Nashville date there. Dying Fetus has announced some September headlining dates, starting September 1st in Atlantic City, New Jersey at Anchor Rock Club, finishing September 9th in Syracuse, New York at the Lost Horizon. No Nashville date there. The Original Misfits will play a live show at the Dos Equis Pavilion in Dallas, Texas on October 29th with special guest Alice Cooper. Then moving over to blabbermouth.net, I have In Flames, At the Gates, Imminence, and Orbit Culture going to Europe and to the UK starting November 12th in Tallinn, Estonia at Helit Haas, finishing December 17th in Gothenburg, Sweden at Scandinavium. Then Raven and Riot Act are going out starting September 22nd in Jacksonville, Florida at Jackrabbits, finishing October 22nd in Knoxville, Tennessee at the Brickyard. I don't know why they're not going to the Concourse, probably because it's booked by another date that day. No Nashville date for Raven and Riot Act. And then last but not least, Whitesnake. They have pulled out of the North American tour with the Scorpions, and they have canceled their headlining dates due to David Coverdale's continued treatment for a quote-unquote persistent upper respiratory infection. So, hopefully he can recover from that. But, Whitesnake is going to go home while he recovers from that. So that is hitting the road for the 31st through the 8th.
All right. So I guess we go into our top 10 now.
Yeah.
I guess in the fashion of our guest this week, we wanted to do top 10 metal songs from non-American bands. So
yep.
So all these bands, which I put the countries down beside mine. I don't know if you did that as well, but
yes, I did.
So so we're on the same page.
Yes, we are.
Which is scary sometimes. A lot of times we're on the same page with this shit and we never talk to each other. So
I know.
So it's kind of, I guess that's why we do so well with this. Is we kind of got good.
Yeah, we got it down.
So,
yeah, we do.
Oh man.
I don't know about you, but I actually had to put the brakes on myself at 18.
Yeah, I think I cut it off around 13 or 14. I was just like, yeah, you know what? I need to stop right here. So
yeah, I did the same thing. I was like, I was like, I could keep going, but I should just stop.
Yeah. But, all right, I'll kick it off here with my little list here. First one I had was Angela Sapatrita, of course, with Bleed the Crown, which is one of my favorite songs with those guys. That was actually from the Angela Sapatrita album in 2021. And, of course, they are from Spain. Then I took Children of Bottom, If You Want Peace, Prepare for War, from Are You Dead Yet? 2005. Of course, they are from Finland.
Mhm.
Then I took Sepultura Arise from Arise in 1991, which, of course, we all know that Sepultura is from Brazil.
Yep.
Then I took Gojira Stranded from Magma 2016. Of course, Gojira is from France. Bullet for My Valentine, Shatter from Bullet for My Valentine 2021. And, of course, the Bullet for My Valentine are from Wales.
Mhm.
Then I was going to show some love to some of our previous guests, and with
They're gonna
Devil,
they're gonna be on the list for sure.
with Devil, Damn Man Switch from Hush 2022, and of course our friends from Devil are from Scotland. Then I took the Defaced Celestial Display from the Charlatans 2022, and the Defaced are from Sweden. Also took another band from Sweden, In Flames, Only for the Weak from Clayman 2000. Then I wanted to put in our guest for today, Source of Rage, Purify Me from Witness to Mess 2022. And of course, if you were here earlier, you know
That's
they
a
are
great song.
they are from Germany. Then I took Arch Enemy in the Eye of the Storm, Deceiver 2022. And I got Null Positive, Collapse from Krieger 2016. Of course, that's another band from Germany we talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Then I took Alien Weaponry, Buried Underground from Tangaroa. I'll get her out in a minute. A lot of damn A's in that shit. 2020, 2021. Of course, Alien Weaponry is from New Zealand. And then last but not least, I took Lacuna Coil, Layers of Time from the Black Anima 2019. And of course, Lacuna Coil are from Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I kind of like put the brakes on mine. I said, man, I was like you, I was going through it. And I said, man, I probably could keep going to like 20 or 30 if I wanted to. But I didn't realize. I was like, man, maybe I should have narrowed it down a little bit better. But
yeah. Well, see, and that's the funny thing is, like I told you, I've got 18. Well, what I did was like when I got to 10 and I kept going, and I got to 18, I was like, well, some of the ones that I put, you know, at 11 through 18, I was like, shit, I need to move that up and I need to move that down.
Right.
So I did kind of rearrange everything, but I was like,
well, they're all gonna be on there anyway. So.
Yeah, they'll all be on there for sure. But I was like, Jesus Christ, you know. So we do this sometimes where, you know, obviously some of these have been easier than others, but when we kind of just talked about just bands from other countries, I just like right off the top of my head, I just like boom, 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 and I put this thing together just like that, and then it's like, all right, I better just like stop at some point. So here's my top 10, quote unquote, top 10. Leading off with Indoctrinate by Angelus Apatrida off the Angelus Apatrida album from 2021, and they are from Spain. Then I went with Demons Are a Girl's Best Friend from Powerwolf off the Sacrament of Sin from 2018. They are from Germany. Then I went with Fallen Brother by Creator off of Gods of Violence from 2017. They are also from Germany. Then I went with Nemesis from Arch Enemy off of Doomsday Machine from 2005. They are from Sweden and Germany. Of course, Angela Gassau, she's not in the band anymore, but she's from Germany.
Right.
She's still the band's manager. then I went with Freiheit from Null Positive off of the Independence album from 2020. They are from Germany, like Jason said. Then I went with Rule Breaker by Primal Fear off of the album of the same name from 2016, and they are from Germany. Germany has just put out some great fucking music.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to Europe as a whole, but I mean, when you really break it down, man, Germany has just pumped out some great music.
I mean, they're still doing it. I mean, just look at who we talked to today. So,
I know. It's just, you know, it's just good shit. Then I went with Camouflage by Sabaton off of The Last Stand from 2016. They are from Sweden. Then, and I mean, this next one, this is the one I picked, but I mean, I could have literally probably gone with 10 other songs. I went with Radio by Rammstein off of Rammstein from 2019. Obviously, they are from Germany, but I mean, Rammstein has so many goddamn good songs. It's ridiculous. I mean, you could have gone with Du Hast, Weidmann's Heil, Mein Teil, you know, America. I mean, just there's so many songs you could have gone with. Then I went with Fight by War Kings off of Revolution from 2021. They are from, you know, you've got Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. You know, the members of the band are from, you know, mixed in from those three countries. Then I went with Awaken the Thunder by Hammer King off of their self-titled album for 2021, and they are also from Germany. Then you get into my quote-unquote honorable mention bands. I went with The Book of Heavy Metal from Dream Evil from the album of the same name from 2014. They are from Sweden. Then I went with Healed by Metal by Gravedigger off of, the album of the same name from 2017. They're from Germany. Then I went back a little ways for some. I went with You Got Another Thing Coming by Judas Priest from Screaming for Vengeance, 1982. They're obviously from the UK, as is Black Sabbath, who I went with Paranoid off the album of the same name from 1970. They're also from UK. Then I went with One More Time by Hammerfall off of Infected from 2011. They are from Sweden. Then a couple more from back in the day, Balls to the Wall by Accept from the album of the same name from 1983. They are from Germany. Rock You Like a Hurricane from the Scorpions off of Love at First Sting from 1984, also from Germany. And then last but far from least, I went with Maniac Dance by Stradivarius off of their self-titled album for 2005, and AR from Finland. So
we probably could have went with just Germany, but
I had actually thought about that. Well, I did suggest Germany initially, and then you were like, "Well, we just go with internationals." Like, yeah, shit, that works too. So
yeah, I just didn't realize how wide, how much I broadened that.
Yeah, that's good though, because it's gonna make for one hell of a playlist this week. Yeah. So,
which is crazy because like I was just looking at last week the album review. That band was from Argentina, and then this week the band that I'm reviewing was from Brazil. So so it's kind of like, man, it's like they're still like every week it's from some other country. It's crazy.
Yeah, the album review that I did, the band is from Israel.
Yeah, see, so it's like,
but again,
it's like I know who I know. Again, I had you know what? I had one I didn't type out. It's actually on my still on my Spotify. I just looked at it. Confess is on there. So
there you go.
So, and then we could have went with System of a Down. I mean, so
from Armenia. Yeah.
So there's still a lot of bands we left out. So.
I mean, we've talked about it before about how much of an international flavor the genre of heavy metal has in it. I don't think there's I still don't think you can convince me that there is another genre of music in the world that
no, because
has a melting pot like that.
Yeah, I don't think you go to like a Scotland or Sweden and see country music or anything because they're more folk. Really don't. They do a lot more folk and stuff there. So so if you don't see metal, you're seeing folk music, and I'm sure there's probably a hip hop type stuff all over the place too. But
probably
still, you got those countries that don't do that stuff. So I think metal's pretty much
heavy metal.
I think it'd be interesting to know if there's a band or if there's like a country that there's not a heavy metal band. So,
because I mean, there's even I've even seen sorry, tongue tied a minute. I've even seen a few heavy metal bands come out of like India,
right?
And obviously, who the hell? I just completely went blank, but they're that deathcore band out of Russia. The guy wears the mask.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Son of a bitch! I just completely went blank. But you know what I'm talking about. It'll come to me in a second. But I mean, so I mean, and obviously we know there's Asian heavy metal bands,
right?
You just talked about Alien Weaponry from fucking New Zealand. I mean, I mean, let's face it, heavy metal rules the world, man. It just does. And another thing I also realized, we did not, with as long as our lists are, we had 31 songs, no doubles.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It'll be a very, very good playlist. So
we'll get the playlist compiled and we'll get it posted by the end of the weekend for you guys.
All right. So I guess that will take us into our album reviews of the week. I only got to listen to the one because I kind of been under the weather, if you can't tell. But I'm sorry. That's kind of why I've been going off and on with my camera because I don't think any of you guys want to see me blowing my nose and stuff. So, but But anyway, I took this week. I took Frenesy, Fears Apocalypse. Frenesy is a band out of Brazil. They've been active since 2003, which is kind of wild. I actually am going to reach out to this band because I'm kind of interested of how they're around since 03, but only have 2 albums, and one was in 14, and then the new one that just came out. So
Yeah.
it's
So
kinda,
they went 11 years into their career before they had an LP come out.
I mean, yeah, I mean they had a bunch of
Wow.
demos
Okay.
and stuff, but yes, I kind of want to know the story there. So
Yeah,
um,
that would be interesting to know.
yeah, so maybe we can reach out to those guys and see what happens. But they're actually an unsigned independent band, so that'll be good for them too. So
Yeah, there you go.
but anyway, the lineup is Ronnie Labato on bass, Yosifer Aries on drums, Yaba Revax on guitars, Tiago Tiabaldo on guitars, and then Wendell Aries on vocals. So looks like they may have a couple of brothers in that band as well. So
Yeah. Easy for you to say all those names. Jesus.
well, you know, I probably mispronounced them, but I did the best I could. So like I said, this is the band's second full-length album. 10 songs, 41 minutes, 19 seconds. I like the best way to describe this. It was really, really like hard. It's kind of like the same as you did with Source of Rage. It was kind of like it's very different, and you can't really pinpoint any, you know, any type of of one set influence. I mean, it was kind of a little bit, but it was almost like Max Cavalera was singing for Heathen. If that puts it into perspective
Oh
for
shit!
you at
Okay.
all.
Right.
So, but it was really like.
Which signed me up for that, by the way. That'd be fine.
Right. Yeah. You know, which kind of makes sense, I guess. You know, being from Brazil, that you would kind of, you know, sound like Max Cavalera a little bit, but
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see. I guess that's the thing. Like I would say about this album is if you can sit still while listening to this, then there's probably something wrong with you. You need to get checked out. So. I mean, it was just kind of like, I even like the intro. It wasn't like an intro, but it was an intro of the first track, kind of like leading into the actual, you know, it was all one track. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't listed separately. It was just kind of the intro to it. And then like, it just kind of like, it had like the end of time sirens blaring. Cause I mean, you know, like Fears the Apocalypse, of course, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
Those
and
air raid sirens, God.
Yeah, that's what it was. The air raid sirens.
These things still give me goosebumps when I hear them. They always do. Ugh.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool how they incorporated it, and it just kind of like was going off, and then it just blared right into the ripping guitar riff, and it was like pretty cool how it just
nice.
Just went right into it. It was pretty cool. It's just an in-your-face album from start to finish. I think everything was perfectly thrashy. I guess if that's what you want to say, but
yeah,
but I'm definitely going to give this one an easy 4 horns. You know, I kind of was debating. I kind of on the edge of doing another 4.5. I ain't even going to lie, but I don't know why. Just like there was one song in there that was a little bit off for some reason, but. To me, it was, but like I said, the more I listen to it, it might grow on me. So,
yeah,
but definitely a great album. Should check those guys out. So,
yeah, we'll do. I did start listening to. I started listening. I think it was Thursday. I had started to listen to the weekly playlist, and I noticed that band was on there. So I kind of, I don't know if I necessarily paid a little more attention to that song, but I noticed it was on there. So when you said that was the album that you were going to do, your review on, I was like, oh shit, okay, that's cool. Cause I remember listening to the song. So I was like, oh shit. All right.
And there's actually a couple, like this week was really good for albums. I think, I just didn't have time to like I said, I've been on the weather, so I didn't really have time to sit and listen or drive around and listen to anything. So,
right. Yeah.
But I definitely want to do a couple of other reviews if I can, maybe later on in the week or over the weekend or whatever.
Yeah, get some write-ups done.
Yeah, because there was some good stuff out there, and I think needs to be put out there for people to check out. So,
yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's see what we got here. All right, for the 12th, I got that ready. So I I'm working on listening to another album right now. I've got one started, but the only one that I got all the way through, I got through the new album December by Stormbound. They are a symphonic metal band. They were formed in Netanya, Israel in 2018. This is their debut full-length album. They are a 6-piece. They are a dual female-male dual vocal attack. You have Yuval Partouche on drums. You have Shani Friedman on guitars, Rotem Sadia on keyboards, Yale Horwitz on vocals, Pavel Kleiman on bass, and Ofer Friedman on guitars and the additional vocals. So he is the male vocalist contributor. Like I say, debut album. The new album is 9 tracks long, 56 minutes and 12 seconds. So a little bit longer. There is one track in there that's 10.5 minutes long. So that kind of inflates the track listing a little bit. And then track number 9 is 9 minutes. So you have 2 tracks tying up 20 minutes of the album, but it doesn't really do too bad. There was none of those unnecessary intros or anything like that. It kind of kicks right off. One thing I did notice about the lead singer is she has got. I mean, she's obviously this band, like I say, they're a symphonic metal band, with the male female alternating vocal style and everything, but one thing I noticed about her is she seems to have a little bit more of a top end of her range than kind of like, she's still got as much of a powerful voice as like some of these other female vocalists of like Nightwish, like Floor Jansen, Sharon Den Adele from Within Temptation, Simone Simons from Epica, and even Elise Reed, her, so she's got a similar vocal style to some of those other, female vocalists with that super duper powerful voice, but her top end seemed to be a little higher. She was hitting some pretty damn high notes with a pretty good regularity. So this being the band's debut album, if you're kind of into that type of band like I am, this could be one of those bands that moving forward could be kind of like a sleeper band in like the symphonic metal as far as female fronted bands. And then, Ofer Friedman, he kind of has a little bit of he kind of does, when he comes in, he'll sing clean, but he'll sing a little more. He's a little more borderline guttural than I say Andrea Ferro was on, Lacuna Coil's last album, even though we didn't really care for how that last album turned out. Andrea Ferro went a little more aggressive with his vocal style. So Ofer Friedman, he was a little more on the borderline of doing, full-fledged gutturals at some point, but he was also a complimentary clean vocalist at points during this album too. So Yale Horwitz, she's straight clean all the way through, and then Ofer Friedman, he does a little bit of both. He alternates as far as his vocal style. Another thing I noticed about this band is in spots when they were focused more on the actual metal part and they got away from the symphonic part. Their straight metal parts seem to be a little heavier than some of these other bands too, where some of the symphonic metal bands, their mix of the metal and the symphonic parts are they not that they flow together better, but I'm not really sure how to describe it, but it just seems like this band is a little heavier when the heavy part kicks in than some of these other bands. So the symphonic parts are still there, but they're kind of they're a little more separated than some of the other bands that I listen to, or to where the symphonic and the heavy parts, they kind of mesh together a little more, to where this band, they kind of, when it's symphonic, they kind of play just the symphonic part, and then when the heavy part kicks back in, it's just the heavy part, and then those heavy parts seem to be heavier than some of the other stuff I've heard. So I kind of liked that. There was one song, and I think it may have, I should have taken note of it, but I didn't because I was driving at the time. There is one of those obligatory, ballads on here. I mean, it was done fine. It wasn't my favorite, ballad that I've ever heard from some of these symphonic metal bands. So overall, I'm going to give this 3.5 out of 5. I think it was very, very well done. Like I say, I think this band going forward could be like, they could be a player in this symphonic metal genre, especially with Yale Horowitz's vocal range. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So if you're in that Nightwish Epica, if you kind of like that kind of thing, I would definitely give this a listen because it was well done. I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Soulfly was on our list this week, right?
Soulfly was on the list. Yeah, their new album Totem came out this week.
Yes,
so.
I definitely need to check that out. So
yeah, and then the other album that I started listening to, and I posted one of the new videos to the Metalheads Unite Facebook group. I started listening to The Great Heathen Army by Amon Amarth. I'm probably 3 or 4 songs into that one, and yeah, that one kicks a lot of ass so far. I will be 100% honest. Historically, I haven't been the biggest Amon Amarth fan, but
right.
but when they started releasing the singles for this new album, I kind of paid attention to them, and it's odd to me. And some of you fans out there who listen to Amon Amarth more than I have you may agree or disagree with me on this, but Johan Hegg's vocals, for what they are, keep in mind, Johan Hegg's vocals seem to be a touch cleaner on this album. I can understand a lot more of what he's saying on this album, which I will be honest does help, but also at the same time, I'm really liking where the guitars are going on this album so far. So I'm really digging the new Amon Amarth so far. So I'm going to try to finish that this week.
Cool. And then what's on the list for next week?
Yeah, for August 12th coming up. This leading off with one that got delayed a couple weeks, but one I'm looking forward to. We have Arch Enemy with Deceivers. We have Aronius with Arcala. We have A to Z with a self-titled album. We have Barbarian with Viper Face. We have Bitter End with Harsh Realities. That's a re-release for them. We have Blasted Heath with Vela. We have Bleed Like My... Oh, my God. Seriously? We have another one of these. We have another one of these EPs with a movie tie-in. We have Bleed Like My Lee with Nuxu Cow. And for any of you movie buffs out there, that is a reference from the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Kickboxer. Oh, my God. So good. I don't know if it's as good. I don't know if it's as good as Roger Pedactor. I don't know if it's
that was pretty good.
Like that good, but so that might be an EP I may have to listen to just because of the movie reference.
That was Laces Out, wasn't it? The Roger Pedactor.
Yes, it was Laces Out, Roger Pedactor. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. We have Boris with Heavy Rocks 2022. We have Building Upon the Revelation with the Pathways of Discipline. We have Carry On Veil with Abhorrent Obsession. We have Arab Altor with Netram. That's a re-release for them. Generation Radio with a self-titled album. Ooh, here's another one that we've been looking forward to. Hellfire with their new album, Reckoning.
Oh, yeah.
Been looking forward to that one. Hydra with Point Break. Point Break. I don't know if that's a movie reference or not. I have no idea. We have If These Trees Could Talk with a self-titled EP re-release. We have Killfeather with Armchair Revolutionaries. We got a lot of those in this country. We have Leviathan with Mischief of Malcontent. We have Locrian with New Catastrophism. I'll get that out in a minute. We have Memoriam with The Route of Heresis. We have Moths with Space Force. Nordic Union with Animalistic. Nor'easter with Calm Before the Storm. Norma Jean with Death Rattle Sing For Me. Nuke Birds with Vanguard MK1. Of Virtue with Sinner, that is an EP. Opium Lord / Under, that is a split EP. Pulse with Dragonfly. Reign of Glory with All Will Bow. Restless Spirits with Second to None, Ritualization with Hema Ignis Necros, that is an EP, Seventh Storm with Maledictus, Sayer with Flux, Strife with Curse Theater, Sunstorm with Brothers in Arms, Unprocessed with Gold, Vanden Plas with Live and Immortal, a DVD and CD combo. We have Weregoat with The Devil's Lust, that is an EP. Then we have Weregoat / Eggs of Gamor with an orgiastic rape of resurrected remains. Good Lord, that's a mouthful. That is a split EP between those two bands. So
you gotta expect to get in a mouthful on an orgy. So
no, I'm telling you, yeah. So that's the list for August 12th. So there's a couple on there that I know I'm already going to listen to. So
yep. Looks like a pretty good variety there. So
absolutely.
Which we've always we've been enjoying the variety that we've gotten from heavy HQ, heavy music HQ. So
yes, we have.
Oh man! All right, well I guess that will put a bow on this one. So
yeah, not too bad. 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I want to thank
Marco and Oli.
Yep, Marco and Oli from Source of Rage.
Yeah, we greatly appreciate them coming on. And again, for the record, you guys, your English was just fine.
Yeah.
they were concerned about how well they were going to be able to do in English, and they did just fine.
Yeah, well, the women over here like the accent anyway, so
yeah, they do.
So
yeah,
I don't think they could have did anything wrong. So
no. Yeah. But yeah, check out go to sourceofrage.de for their homepage and check out the merch. They will have Witness the Mess merch posted up on the website pretty soon. So check them out over there. Like I say, check out Witness the Mess, check out Realize the Scope, their first album. So go give those guys a listen. They're a band that I would definitely expect to hear more from in the future. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get to talk to them again, like we said. We've got some more irons in the fire, so hopefully we'll be making another announcement maybe next week. As of right now, we don't have a guest lined up for next week, so we'll be back to the original regular format next week. So we'll be back with all the regular content. We'll be back with 2 weeks of heavy metal history. Yep. So we'll be good to go there. So check us out on VOPUSARadio.com. Check us out on the VOP USA Radio app. Check us out on the Metalheads Unite YouTube channel. We're over there. Then, VOP USA is on Twitch and on Twitter, and there's the network is all over the place. So we're still working on getting show specific channels set up. I still haven't found time to do a TikTok yet. I'm still a little gun shy about doing one of those. I'll be completely honest with you. So, and then I still haven't got a Metalhead Unite specific Twitter page set up yet. So I am admittedly lagging behind on a couple of those things, but I am working on it. So, and then if for anybody who isn't a member of the Facebook group yet, check us out over there at Metalheads Unite on Facebook. If you're looking for the thumbnail in the upper right hand corner where it always is, that's the thumbnail you'd be looking for the trademarked, copywritten Metalheads Unite Facebook group. So the one, the only, the one that Jason's pointing at, there he is right there. So and so you can follow us pretty much almost anywhere. So
take us with you wherever you go.
You can.
Oh man. All right, so I guess I will end this one for today. If you want to go back and listen to the interview for Source of Rage, you can always do that back over at the YouTube page or Twitch or Facebook or wherever you want to stream us from there. It's always cool to with the interviews. They're always different, so that's what's always good about them. So. But it's cool that we're getting around the globe a little. So,
I love that. I do. I love that. Talking to these guys from over in Europe and stuff like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Always fun to talk to anybody, but yeah, the fact that we're like 3 or 4 bands in to just talking to guys, I think that's third. So we got the UK, we got Sweden, and we got Germany now under our belts. So
Yep.
very cool.
Yep. So all right. Well, like I said, and then hopefully we might have a repeat guest at some point this year. So we'll see. But,
Yep.
then of course we have some news that may be coming up about the platform in September. So
Yep.
keep in touch with that, and of course we'll be doing a live show from we'll do our show on September. I don't know, what is it, the 9th or 10th or something that week. But I'll be in Blue Ridge at Virginia. But we'll still have we'll still have a show. We just may have to push the time a little bit I can make it out to the racetrack there. So
yeah, but we'll definitely keep you guys posted on that, whether or not there's a little teeny tiny little bit of a schedule tweak there. So
yeah. So they haven't really put out a schedule for the bands or nothing yet. So
yeah.
So I figured in our next couple of weeks or so they'll probably have that out. So
oh yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we will wrap this bad boy up, and I appreciate you guys for stopping in with us. Hope you enjoyed the interview with Source of Rage. Check those guys out. Show them some love. Very good band. Very impressed. So.
Yep, they've even got a few music videos on YouTube, so check those out also.
Yeah, sure do. So.
Yep. Thank you, Myrna, for coming by. As always, we appreciate you hopping into the chat.
Yeah.
And hope everybody else enjoyed the show. Hope everybody has a great day. Hope the guys in Source of Rage have a great Saturday night. Don't drink too many beers. But
yeah,
of course, that goes for everybody. If you're gonna have some drinks, don't have too many. So
right. So again, thank you, Oliver. Thank you, Marco, for joining us today. We really enjoyed it. Hopefully, have you back soon.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for joining in. So hopefully, we'll see you back next week with the regular stuff, and then hopefully, we'll have some news for some more live guests after next week. Hopefully, so we'll see.
Yep.
So until then, we will see you guys next week. So keep those horns held high and jump in that pit anytime you can.
Have a great week, guys.
Next week.
Thank you much.